within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Max Bankman, I'm the new doctor.
Welcome aboard the Odyssey.
ABC Thursdays.
This ship is heaven. We're tending to our passengers' dreams. I'm in.
From 911 executive producer Ryan Murphy comes a splashy new drama on a luxury cruise ship with Joshua Jackson and Don Johnson.
It's your job to keep everyone alive.
She's in VFib. 1, 2, 3. Clear.
I have a pulse.
You're going to be okay.
Dr. Odyssey. Thursdays, 9/8 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Let's go. It's time for Sedano and Cap.
A little sabor, and we're going to just nosh.
It is George Sedano. It is Scott Kaplan. Sedano and Cap is on for your Monday afternoon.
I'm going to have to say respectfully, I'm going to disagree.
Okay, why is that?
I don't know.
Here we go, a Michelob Ultra. Reaction Monday Michelob Ultra. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. You know Scotty Kaplan, Cap as we call him. He enjoyed last night, Sunday Night Football, when the Chiefs beat the Chargers on a doink.
It's the doink for the division for the Chiefs. Oh, my goodness.
We'll talk about that. Plus, Sedano was calling NFL football yesterday on ESPN Radio. More details on that. And yes, the Rams with a huge win over the Buffalo Bills. Rams haven't looked that good since 2021. And people like Steve Mason and Travis Rogers are now saying Super Bowl or bust. We'll talk some reality and to everybody this afternoon drive as the Rams get ready for Thursday night against the Niners, Thursday Night Football. Plus the usual fun and frivolity. Let's get to it. The LA afternoon drive takeover.
Hey, Jerusalem Cherry. He likes to lay the wood.
Yeah.
You say Kikuchi.
Wacky forced radio stunt of the year. Ha-ha.
Christopher can go to hell.
Oh, nothing worse than the horse.
Nah, man, black don't crack.
Benjamin Pratt is like, how do you say his name? Asminger?
Asminger. Hey, these Hard Knocks guys are all over me right now. It's like I'm in back in Dayton.
You are a bit killer.
Because you got to talk about sperm?
I mean, look at me. I'm a hot piece of ass. I mean, look at him.
Sedano and Cap, your Monday afternoon right now.
Ba-da-ba.
Yeah.
Bee-ba-da-boo. Do-da-da-da. Boom, ba-da-bum.
Yeah. Boom, ba-dum, bum. Doom, da-dum, bum.
Beady, boom, bum.
Bum, beedum, bum.
Cappy,
Yeah.
the Rams, Christopher nailed it. Probably the best game they've played since 2021. And I would say the game of the year is what I would call it.
You know, it's funny you say that because Thursday night when the Packers played the Lions, that was such an entertaining back-and-forth football game. And then yesterday, the Rams and the Bills put on an all-time, particularly offensive show. And it was, I can't disagree, it was the most entertaining football game that I've watched all football season.
By the way, I got a chance to, obviously I was doing a game while that game was going on, so I got a chance to watch it. I have the NFL Plus app, and what I can do is in the NFL Plus app, they have the full game, right, which is without commercials, 2 hours and like 20-something minutes, right? And then they have what they call the condensed game, which is still the whole game, but it's literally like edited to the point where there's no just play. Like there is very little fat, is what I would say.
Yeah.
So I watched the condensed version today, which is like 45 minutes or so, and honestly, I don't think I can ever watch a game any other way now because it's literally like if you're like a fiend of just like great stuff, and even the not great stuff, like is so fast that you're just like. Oh, my God. Like, I really didn't know what I was missing watching it that way. And granted, I did it because I needed the time more than anything else. But then I thought about it. I'm like, oh, my God, this is incredible. Like, I thought the red zone was a great invention. This is the best invention I've ever seen.
Certain games, like yesterday's Bills-Rams game, that was the kind of game where I actually had that game on exclusively.
Mm-hmm.
So more often than not, I want to have a YouTube TV 4-box. I want to split it up.
Right.
And I'll have like one.
But there was only like 2 games in the late window anyway, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, there may have been 3, but nonetheless.
No, right, because Seattle and Arizona was 1, too, as well. So it was 3 games, yeah.
But it was the kind of game that I wanted to have on the full screen because what you're saying about a condensed game is great when you don't have the time to watch the game. But when you do what I did yesterday, you were calling a game. You were a busy boy yesterday. You're up in Santa Clara calling that 49ers game yesterday.
Oh, my God, they beat down poor Caleb.
Well, listen, you and I talked about this from the day that Caleb Williams was drafted. It was only a matter of time until their defensive-minded head coach, Matt Eberflus, would be fired. Obviously, that's already happened.
Cappy, they had 4 yards at the half.
Oh, I actually saw the graphic at the end of the half. It was like 300 and something yards to San Francisco.
319 to 4.
Yeah, and I'm telling you right now that the way it was put up on the screen, George, was 2.
Well, 300. No, I think it was. I think you know how they do those things where it's like total yards and like there's the sacks that factor in. So I think like the what is it? The net and the
gross?
The gross, right. So I think the gross was 4 and the net was 2.
Right. So there's a graphic at the end of the half. It's halftime. San Francisco 310 yards, Chicago 2 yards.
Yeah.
Look, all I'm saying is this, though, that you knew that Caleb Williams was going to go to a place where, by the way, they were like 7-9 or 7-10 last year, something like that.
Right.
So for them to have the first overall pick for a team that was kind of close to making it to the postseason, this season has turned into a total disaster.
Oh, my God. They can't protect him at all. Like, at all. At all. He is, at times when I was watching that game, and I'll get back to the Rams here in a second, Cappy, when I tell you that he's seeing ghosts out there, right? Like anytime, there's always someone in his face. Like there is not a time where the pocket is very clean. I could probably count it on one hand when I was doing that game yesterday, how many times he had a clean pocket.
What makes it so interesting, though, is that with San Francisco winning yesterday and with the Rams winning yesterday.
And Seattle taking care of business against Arizona.
Right. All of a sudden now, the next 4 weeks between the Seahawks, the
playoff games.
In fact, I just say the entire division. I mean, everybody's still alive.
Yeah.
Nobody's been able to pull away. And I was looking at the Rams. So the Rams will play the Niners this upcoming Thursday night. That's why we're going to be off the air on Thursday.
Yeah, thanks.
Then the Rams go cross-country against the Jets, who are obviously one of the biggest disasters in the entire NFL. And then to finish up at home, the Rams' last 2 games, Cardinals, Seahawks, the Rams, when you look at those 4 games, can still win the division.
Correct.
Because the Seahawks, George, they still play the Packers and the Vikings back-to-back.
Right.
And then they play on the road at the Bears, should be an easy win, and then they play here against the Rams, the Seahawks. The Niners are also not dead.
No, they're not dead. They have going into the game yesterday, they had an 8% chance. They now have an 11% chance.
But the Niners have the Rams this week.
Yeah.
At the Dolphins.
Right. Lions, though.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I mean, a real tough one. Yeah. And then at the Cardinals. Point being that all 4 teams in the NFC West are still live.
Right.
That's all.
But nothing was better than that thing. So anyway, back to my crack watching of the 45-minute version of the Rams and Bills. Holy moly. I will say this. That might have been Sean McVay, like a virtuoso type performance for him, along with Matt Stafford, obviously, too. But what the other thing that stood out to me was, man, Puka Nacua.
He's amazing.
Is absolutely out of control.
He's incredible.
And by the way, Cooper Kupp, still really freaking good.
Right.
And it's not just the cool catch he made in the end zone with his knee kind of kept the ball in place. Do you see how he blocks for Puka every time? Like, he absolutely annihilates whoever's in the secondary as Puka's running in the open field.
What I love about Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua is this. First of all, Puka Nacua in year 2, especially given that he was injured at the early part of the year, wow, what an incredible season Puka Nacua has had. But he's also now elevated to where he's the number 1.
Yes.
And Cooper Kupp is a complementary piece, but you know, how many diva wide receivers in the NFL could accept this. I'm not going to call it a demotion because it wasn't intentional. It was organic.
Right.
You know? And so you got to give it up to Cooper Kupp because now he's a complementary piece. With Nakua getting 12 catches yesterday and Cooper Kupp only having 5, Cooper Kupp is one of those guys that every time he's on the field, you get the sense that winning is more important than anything else from him.
Yes.
You know, you talk about McVay, you talk about Stafford, you can talk about Puka Nakua and Cooper Kupp, and there are lots of other names of guys who made contributions yesterday. But one guy, I got to shout him out. Kyron Williams. We are underestimating
1,000 yards,
right.
1,000 yard seasons. I mean,
we are underestimating how insanely productive.
Yeah, he's good.
Kyron Williams is because when you look at like Saquon Barkley, everybody knows all the spectacular plays, the long runs, the speed, etc. Kyron Williams, 29 carries in a game. I mean that's just a guy who's just bulldozing people. So the run game yesterday and the offensive line with protection and the ability to run the ball. It was a great win by the Rams, and I don't know. There was a part of me that was kind of thinking like, "Hey, we're just. It's a matter of time before the Bills come back and win this game." But credit to the Rams, they found a way.
They absolutely did find a way, and man, they got a punt block. Like they did everything you do.
Right.
Just the numbers on this thing. When you look at just some of the kind of crazy statistical anomalies that went down during this game. I believe it's the first time in like NFL history where you had two teams scoring 40 points with no turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like all these crazy numbers that you're just like, wait, how did that happen again? So as it unfolded, it was just wild to watch because, again, I knew the result, obviously, and I had already seen a bunch of this other stuff. But, yeah, and here's the thing, Cappy, the Rams are for real. Well, I mean, they lost that game to Philly, but they are 6-2 since Week 7 when they started to get healthy again.
Yeah. The thing is this, and we said this going into the game. If they are to beat the Bills, then we should take them as serious contenders.
Correct.
If they lose that game at home, based on the schedule and based on their record, it's probably not going to be the case. You know, the game actually reminded me, now that we're just kind of finishing up on the numbers of 44-42, it reminded me of the game, I want to say it was 2019.
It was 18 against the Chiefs, yeah.
The Chiefs and the Rams at the Coliseum in the game that was supposed to be in Mexico City that they canceled because they gave you the nonsense story about the field conditions, when in actuality it was more about the wildfires in L.A. and wanting to do something great for the community. It's neither here nor there. The point was, it was a great up and back, I
love a random Cappy conspiracy that he just throws away for no reason.
I had to pause and then kind of throw in my conspiracy, then pause again and then bring it home.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Well, bring it home already because we got to go to break.
Well, here's bringing it home. Yeah. That was probably the most entertaining Rams football game I've seen since that Chiefs-Rams game at the Coliseum. Circa, you say 2018?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
It was phenomenal.
Yes, it was.
Also, Amazon Pickup is pretty phenomenal. Why don't you tell them about that before we get into the worm almost turning again yesterday. Unfortunately, turned the wrong way.
Not unfortunately, unless you had the Chiefs -4, which I did. Here's the thing about Amazon Pickup. Listen, it's now officially the holiday season. Today is December 9th. I don't know about the rest of you guys. I got an entire list of people that I got to get holiday gifts for. So here's what's happening. You're going to be working because you're going to be trying to close down the year, or maybe you have a last day on your calendar and you're like, I got to get everything done by this day. So you're going to be working hard. You're going to be going to holiday parties. You might be going to Christmas parades. You may be going to get a new Christmas tree. The bottom line is you're not going to be at your house. You're not going to be at your apartment. So why have Amazon deliver everything to your house or your apartment when you can do Amazon Pickup? Because that allows you to send your orders to a secure pickup location that you choose, rather than having everything sent to your house when you're not going to be there, because now it's the holiday season and you're out and about. You're going to get a confirmation email that notifies you that your package is ready, instructions to pick up the package. And I'm telling you right now that as you're running around crazy during the holiday season, you don't want your packages being delivered to your house or your apartment. Rather, you use a secure and convenient delivery solution like Amazon Pickup to pick up your Amazon packages. And by the way, no additional cost. Go to Amazon.com/pickupMVP, Amazon.com/pickupMVP to learn more.
You never have to miss a moment of LA's mega sports station. Get the all-new ESPN LA app.
Just search ESPN LA in your App Store or Google Play.
Download, tap, and bam!
You got 710 ESPN in the palm of
your hand.
Transform your living space into the ultimate smart home experience with Mir Audio Video. From breathtaking cinema rooms to seamless Wi-Fi systems, Mir's expert technicians are certified by the industry leaders, Crestron, Control4, Lutron, Nice, and more. Whether it's your cozy home or a bustling commercial space, Mir delivers unparalleled service tailored just for you. Visit the showroom today at 2040 Westwood Boulevard in Westwood, or give them a call at 310-234-4010. That's 310-234-4010, or check out MirAudioVideo.com.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
Winning matters, especially after an accident. At calljacob.com, we're here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to calljacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB.
Hey, everybody, it's Cap. Are you looking to sell your home quickly and easily without having to do the repairs yourself or worry about whether or not buyers can qualify for new high-interest rate loans? You need to call Seller's Advantage. Thousands of satisfied customers have already done this. They're the go-to choice for homeowners looking to sell their homes fast. Seller's Advantage will buy your home for a competitive cash offer and can close in just days. Not weeks, not months, days. No repairs are needed because they buy the home as is. They have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. It's no wonder why thousands of sellers have chosen Seller's Advantage. Seller's Advantage is the fastest and the most stress-free way to sell your home. If you're ready to sell now, call Seller's Advantage. Get a no-obligation offer at 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-2747, sellersadvantage.com.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Get ready, LA. The Art of Sport LA Bowl, hosted by Gronk, is back at SoFi Stadium on December 18th at 6 p.m. Be there as the Mountain West top team goes head-to-head with the former Pac-12 contender in a showdown you won't want to miss. Tickets and premium suites are on sale now. Don't miss out on your chance to be a part of the action. Visit LABowlGame.com to secure your seats today. That's LABowlGame.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
And it is Sedano Kap here Monday afternoon, Michelob Ultra Reaction Monday. Don't forget, tonight at 6 p.m. after the show, a special edition of Trojans Live. Looking ahead to the Vegas Bowl, we'll hear from Lincoln Riley and so much more. Happy birthday, we lost him in 2020, the great Kirk Douglas. And he turns 67 today. Sure, we could play a Donny Osmond hit when he was a kid with the Osmonds, or maybe a duet with his sister, but we're not. We're going to play the late 80s hit, Sacred Emotion. Because why not? Happy birthday, Donnie. Sedano and Kap continues your Monday afternoon right now.
Oh, look at that, Kap.
Donny Osmond, huh?
You like a little Donnie?
Is Donny Osmond still like a thing in Vegas where he has a residency somewhere?
I don't know. I have not seen him, but maybe.
Think about Donny Osmond has been in your life your whole life.
Right.
I mean, they used to honestly have a show, Donnie and Marie.
Oh, yeah, at Harrah's. He's still there.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. It's a variety show. God, we used to just watch 3 channels, and that was all that was on, so we watched it.
Yeah.
We didn't even care. Happy birthday, Donnie. It's been a while, George. I haven't seen Donnie in a long time.
Oh, I'm glad that you're able to catch up with him.
Yeah, be nice.
Somehow.
Well, you should, when you're in Vegas, you should go see him.
Maybe I'll stop in and see old Donnie.
Take a look at him.
Yeah,
see what he's got.
Donnie, how you doing?
How old is Donnie? How old did Chris say he was?
I don't remember at this point.
Let's see. I'm fit if foe.
67.
67, that's
Looks
it,
good
huh?
for 67.
Yeah.
There you have it.
Mm-hmm.
Cappy, are you going to watch this Simpsons thing?
Do I have a choice? Like, in other words, is there like a regular broadcast, or am I
there's a
stuck
regular
watching
broadcast.
The Simpsons?
You can go back and forth between the two.
Because I saw Mina Kimes earlier today on...
She's going to be a Simpsons character. I'm so
Right.
freaking jealous.
Right. And, oh, dude, her and Dan Orlovsky, and I saw the Mina Kimes video earlier. Like, they were talking to Mina, but it was actually her Simpsons character. And I'm like, I don't know who did that. Like, it doesn't look like her to me. But yeah,
the Simpsons look like a...
They look like Simpsons.
Simpsons,
I guess so. What a cool thing, though. Like, if you're Mina Kimes or you're Dan Orlovsky and they've got you in the broadcast.
And my guy Drew Carter, who'll be calling the action.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that part of it. I don't think so. I don't think I'll be watching that tonight. I think I would watch the more traditional broadcast.
Not a company man, huh, Cappy?
Well,
This is why
not?
you can't
Is
get
it-
in your email. They're going to lock you out right now.
Wait a second. Well, wait, where's the game on tonight? The regular game.
The regular game's on ESPN. This
So I'm a
one's
company guy.
This one's on Disney Plus and ESPN Plus, yes.
Yeah, but you know me. I can't get on Disney Plus or ESPN Plus.
Right, that is fair.
You
I
know?
will have one streaming on Disney Plus and ESPN Plus, and then the other TV on the main broadcast.
You know, I'm going to put the Disney Plus broadcast on in studio with this Roku hack.
Dude, I love it. Like, I am so... they did the Toy Story one last year. I watched that. That one was sick, dude. It was so cool because they played it in... What's the kid's name?
Andy?
Andy.
Andy's
They
room.
played it in Andy's room, right, which was awesome. And it was Drew Carter and Booger McFarlane did that particular broadcast.
I mean, so wait. So I'm going to watch the regular broadcast on ESPN, and then the Manning cast on like ESPN2.
Right, and then this is on ESPN Plus / Disney Plus.
But you know, a couple weeks ago, I went through this whole song and dance, man, with ESPN Plus and Disney Plus, and I got all the emails, and they kept sending me the emails, do this, do that. I did everything they said to do, and none of it worked. Come on, man.
Well, listen, my kids loved it when we saw the Toy Story one, so they're going to want to see this one. So, yeah.
All right. Well, maybe I'll see a little bit of it. We'll
There you
see.
go.
We'll see. I like the traditional broadcast.
Cappy, let's talk about the worm.
Which worm?
The
Dennis
worm
Rodman?
that didn't turn yesterday.
Oh.
The worm has turned.
Now, I will say this, man. I texted this yesterday, and two things can be true at once, as you know.
Well, you're gonna tell us that in advance?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
The Kansas City Chiefs can be lucky. However, I do believe you make your own luck in some ways, too. There are instances of luck, for example, the ball doinking off the upright and then actually going in, right? Whereas how many times have you seen it doink off the upright and then it just, like, falls, right? Or it just goes the other way, you know? So that part is the lucky part. The part that you make your own luck is getting to the point where you can kick the field goal because they have this insane muscle memory now because they've been in so many tight games over the last several years that just doing that is not – it's not strange to them. It's not foreign to them. If anything, they've built a callus to it. Like, there's no emotions. I bet you they're like, all right, we've been here like 6,000 times in the last 5 years. Let's just do it one more time.
Right. In fact, when the Chargers kicked the field goal to go up 17-16, the camera pans over to Mahomes, who's sitting on the bench, and there's not like even an ounce of panic. There's no like yelling, screaming. There's no hyping anybody up. He's just sitting there totally cool, like, okay, now it's my turn. And you think about it like this. You take a 1-point lead if you're the Chargers, and if you're the Chiefs, you want to roll down the field, you want to take the lead, and then what happens after that? Well, in this case, nothing happens after that. Here's why. Because with 4:35 to go in the game and down by a point, the Chiefs went on a drive that took up the rest of the game.
Right. And
they
that's
never
what they're
gave
great
the
at.
ball
Right.
back to
Yeah.
the Chargers.
And that's what they're great at. And the Chargers scored pretty quickly on a couple of drives and you know, unfortunately couldn't capitalize. And you know what? It is about finishing the deal. And I'll get to that more on that in a second. But you got to finish the deal on Christmas time too, Cappy, in the holiday season. So here's the deal. You can give the gift of bouquets, okay? BOUQS. That's bouquets, short for bouquets. And we're going to hook you up 25% off your entire bouquets purchase so you can send some flowers, some gift baskets too. All right? It's very simple. I know you. I used to be the person, Cappy, I don't know about you, they used to wait till like December
terrible
24th
procrastinator.
to
Terrible.
get gifts and all that stuff. But here's why I like the Bouquets Company, okay? Their flowers are cut fresh, sourced directly from the best flower farms, so they last way longer. They even have flowers growing on the freaking side of a volcano. And it's easy. I pick the bouquet, set my delivery date, and bam, I'm done. No wrapping required. All good to go. Simple. I sent some to my sister. I sent some to my mom. And now everything is good. Bouqs is perfect for those who have everything, but you need to find something for them. So you get a festive bouquet for mom, a mini tree for grandma, or you can go big with a flower subscription for your wife or your girlfriend or your significant other. It's basically happiness on repeat. And right now, again, you'll save 25% off with our promo code ESPN. Very simple to remember. Promo code ESPN. Go to Bouqs.com. That's BOUQS.com. Use the promo code ESPN. That's BOUQS.com. Promo code ESPN. Bouqs, promo code ESPN. So you can finish the deal on Bouqs. That way you get yourself set up for the holidays, send the gifts of flowers and bouquets and baskets and all that stuff. But if you're the Chargers, now, glass half empty, your defense still looks really freaking good, and it's been the best defense in the league. And you also were able to muster some semblance of offense against another good defense without some of your best players, particularly your running back. Your number one running back, who's now on IR at the moment, in Dobbins, and Ladd McConkey, who's been your most reliable receiver.
Killed me last night. The fact that McConkey was not on that field killed me because I lost my fantasy game by less than 1 point, and Ladd McConkey was my guy.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. There was no way for me to change out to find somebody else before the start of that game.
Right.
So Ladd McConkey not playing really killed me. But it goes back to the same thing I've been trying to say to you all year long about the Chargers. Look, I got to give credit where credit is due. Jim Harbaugh has changed so much about this team. A lot like Dan Campbell changed so much about the Detroit Lions, right? Yeah. I mean, Detroit's defense is decimated by injuries, and how is it they continue to find ways to win? In part, it's due to great coaching.
Yes.
It's great. It's a great staff. It's great game planning, et cetera, et cetera. How is Sean McVay able to deal with all of the injuries early in the season and keep this team in position?
Because he's a G.
Because he's a great coach.
Yeah.
Jim Harbaugh deserves that same sort of credit.
Absolutely.
Jim Harbaugh's a great coach. Jim Harbaugh put together a great staff. The only thing is that while the Chargers have won games that in years past they have traditionally lost, what they haven't done this year is they haven't won any games that you might say, wow, that's impressive to me. They lost to the Steelers.
Right, but they've won the games they're supposed to win.
Correct, 100%. They beat the Raiders. Yeah. They beat the Panthers.
They're 8-5. They have a 91% chance of making the playoffs.
And they're going to make the playoffs in all liklikelihood. But the losses.
But they're probably going to lose in the first round, but that's fine. All things considered, $50 million over the cap, no wide receivers. Herbert was a little dinged up to start the season. You lose your tailback. I mean, first season of a new coach and a new system and all that stuff. You make the playoffs, that's a great start.
Yes. The only thing is that the games that they've lost are against teams that are the playoff contenders.
Right.
Other than really, like the Cardinals are not very good. They're a 6-7 football team.
Yeah.
They've lost to the Steelers. They've lost to the Chiefs twice, and they've lost to the Ravens, even though they raided the entire Raven organization.
Yeah.
But they've won the games that they're supposed to win. But here's the one thing about the Chiefs, and you said it. The Chiefs are a team that through the years, through the championships, there's no fear. There's a confidence that we're going to come back and win. Yeah. And not only did they position themselves to win the game, which, by the way, they almost lost, of course, but the fact that they didn't give the ball back to the Chargers, that to me was the most impressive part of it all.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. So, look, Chiefs continue to win these close games. The Chargers continue to lose those close games. They've lost 11 straight, decided by 3 or fewer, including the playoffs. Third longest such streak in NFL history, by the way. But nonetheless, again, all of this is on a sliding scale. I think an impressive season nonetheless. I am impressed with the Rams. I've come away very impressed. You know what I'm also impressed by, Cappy?
Tell me.
Your friends at Real Fathers Rights.
You want to know something about Real Fathers Rights? Mark Reel, who runs Real Fathers Rights, that's REEL. Man, they had a Christmas party this past Friday night. I wish I would have been able to go. I couldn't make it. But let me tell you something. It looked amazing. How do I know? All the pictures, all the videos that are online. Here's the one thing I want to tell you about Real Fathers Rights. If you're a dad, if you're a man, more often than not, the family court system does side with the ladies, okay? And I've had that experience myself. RealFathersRights.com/710. They take care of the guys. RealFathersRights.com/710. Here's their number, 323-870-1611. 323-870-1611. Real Fathers Rights, the Fathers Rights attorneys.
710 ESPN, the destination for LA sports this fall.
Here comes LeBron end slam dunk right in Paul George's face and a foul.
Lakers basketball.
Got it back. Another three. Good. What a night for Austin Reeves.
Rams football.
Cup of the six. Cup to the pylon. Touchdown, Cooper Cup. Touchdown, LA.
The USC Trojans.
Hands off the marks. Up the middle. Into the end zone. Touchdown. They're going wild in half of this stadium as the Trojans are going to pull off the upset. How do you do?
LAFC.
Oh, flip for LA Football Club. Diddy!
The LA Kings and Angels baseball.
The all-new ESPN LA app, your destination for LA sports.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When I pull up to the parking lot, it's time to level up. Dial in, showing out for your team. Listen up, get you some. Stand the fan to give you what you need. Fan fuel, game time. Turn up the intensity. Team colors bleeding out. 5-hour energy. For a limited time, get the fan fuel flavor at 5hourenergy.com.
It's the Travis and DeMarco Show.
Every weekday morning at 9 a.m.
What kind of high school student were you?
I majored in eligibility.
DeMarco.
And we're all in the same place.
Yeah. Look, moms and dads, if you have your children in your car, turn off the radio for 10 seconds. It don't matter, man. It doesn't matter at all.
It's Trav and D-Bar.
Back tomorrow morning after Greeny on LA's mega sports station, 710 ESPN.
And it is Sedano and Kap your Monday afternoon. Today is National Llama Day. Where's Pepe when you need him? That's an old bit, Pepe's Llama. And on this day in 1989, the number one hit, Billy Joel, We Didn't Start the Fire. Sedano and Kap continues your Monday afternoon right now.
Start the fire. They will always burn. This is the world's been turning. You remember this song, Cappy?
Love Billy Joel. One of my least favorite Billy Joel songs.
I love the video.
Yeah, I'd say this one and like Uptown Girl, like everything before that was like classic Billy Joel. Then he got super poppy / like super MTV-ish. But I still love Billy Joel. Still love him.
Yeah. Great video, as I mentioned.
Do do dee da dee bop a dee ba doo da. I jazz it up, man.
Yeah,
you know.
clearly. I mean,
that's all. I just jazz it up a little bit.
That is
you
what
know?
it is, Cappy. You know. Yeah. Thank you,
know,
Dr.
George,
Biden.
it's crazy weekend, dude. You were up there calling that San Francisco game yesterday.
What a terrible game, though.
It was a brutal
24
game.
24-0.
I know, so bad.
halftime.
I know. But you just think about where we are today. It's Monday, right? Yeah. And we started off today talking about the Rams and the Bills. Spectacular game, one of the most entertaining football games you're ever going to see. Mm-hmm. The Chargers and the Chiefs last night, also a really great game where the Chiefs jump out to this 13-0 lead. You know, Jim Harbaugh says at halftime, we're going to get super aggressive. They take a 14-13 lead, back and forth, and then ultimately the Chiefs just hang on to the ball the last 4 minutes and change. And we start off with these two NFL games. But you think about, and I know we're going to get there as the day goes on, but just think about where we are Monday. Now this college football playoff is set, and you've got team like
Juan
for me,
Soto, which we'll get to in the next segment.
Juan Soto's a crazy story.
Dude, I stayed up watching like MLB Network after I was done watching SportsCenter and catching up on all the football. I spent like at least a good hour and a half or whatever watching MLB Network last night.
Yeah. I didn't do that. I was watching Scott Van Pelt and SportsCenter and seeing the Jeff Passan report and everything, and just thinking about what Soto did. And again, like you said, we'll get there. But just when you think about where we are, today is December 9th. And between the NFL Week 14, college football and the playoff being set after the championship weekend, and teams and programs that are crashing the party of the traditional powerhouses, and then you think about Soto and baseball and free agency, and the Lakers winning last night, which, you know,
well, I will say this about the Lakers winning last night, and I'm glad they won a game. But here's the thing. I thought it was hilarious when I was on social media yesterday. And I follow a lot of, like, Lakers bloggers and, like, what I would call, like, really informed fans, right? But still fans, and they get emotional about some stuff.
Okay.
And, boy, was there a lot of, quote-unquote, victory laps about D'Angelo Russell's game yesterday, who played great, okay? He did. He played great. But let's just slow down a little bit. They beat the Portland Trailblazers last night, okay? I get a win is a win is a win is a win, and you need a win, okay? But let's not act like they just beat the Nuggets yesterday, okay?
Well, what was the D'Angelo Russell victory lap? I mean, he scored 28 points.
He's had such an inconsistent role. And he's had an inconsistent role because he's been inconsistent, okay? The definition of inconsistent is you can score 28 and 14, and then the next night you can get like 6 and 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, listen, no one's ever questioned the notion that D'Angelo Russell can get hot and can score, but victory lapping over one performance, I mean, that's his first really good performance of the season that I can recall, you know? And it is interesting that, again, it is Portland, and Portland's not very good, but it is interesting that LeBron sat out of that game last night. And when I finally got, like, really into the game, which was way later than the Chargers and the Chiefs game, I was like, oh, Bronny's in the game.
Yeah.
Hey, Bronny. Go,
Dude,
Bronny.
The fans were super into Bronny. Every time he touched the ball, they were going nuts. It's wild to kind of see, like, I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, there is this crazy, weird fascination. It goes back to the early part of the season. Remember when the Lakers were playing at the Raptors, and there was like 5 seconds left in the game, and Bronny makes his appearance, and people are like standing up and they're like cheering. Like, what are we cheering about here? It's like a replacement player at the end of a game. But people love it, man. People are really into it.
They are super into it.
I'm not exactly sure why, but good win, though. Good win. I mean, listen, you needed the win. You were desperate. I mean, after what had happened earlier in the week, I mean, that Atlanta game, which was a disaster.
Oh, my God.
Nightmare. I mean, gosh. I mean, does anybody know how to defend? You know, does it, like, forget about, like, X's and O's.
Trae Young to be that open on that switch was astonishing. Like, I was like, as he was passing it to DeAndre Hunter, I'm like, I was yelling at the TV, he's going to get it back. And, like, all of a sudden he gets it back, and both Vincent and AD are still on DeAndre Hunter and confused as to who's covering who. I was like, how does that happen? How does that guy leave DeAndre Hunter? Let him I know he hit one earlier.
Yeah, he shot 5 or 7 that game.
I get it, but I don't care. I don't want that guy beating me.
Right, but the thing is like, forget about X's and O's, forget about execution of game plan for just one quick second. Like, if you went to the JCC tonight and you watched two teams play 5-on-5 shirts versus skins, I mean, somebody is going to know that's the best shooter. The clock is winding down. Somebody make sure you're on that guy. How can he be left alone?
Would you go shirts or skins?
I'm going to go shirts, and here's why.
Yeah, because of the visceral fat?
Well, besides my being disgusting and my lack of confidence that I'd be, like, constantly, like, trying to pull in my gut.
Yeah.
The thing is, I used to play in these 5-on-5 shirts versus skins games pre-COVID.
It's gross.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's gross.
Okay? Like, there's
like
always
came Polly.
And there's always a guy who's like 50, 60 pounds overweight who you can tell was a decent athlete at one point, but he's just carrying all this extra weight. He's fat, he's sweaty, he's hairy, and he's putting himself all over me. Bro, step back. Okay? Get away from me. Okay? Just get back. If we're gonna play at the JCC, yarmulkes versus no yarmulkes. You feel me?
Okay. Anyway, back to the Lakers.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, look, the Atlanta game was just, I mean, there were so many things that went wrong at the end of that game that you're just like, you got to be bleeping kidding me. Like, how is this possible that this was going to be the case? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
They switched too much defensively for me. Like, 80 should not be on a guard. I mean, I get it.
So you don't like the switching? Because James Worthy was bemoaning the switching.
Yeah, like, I mean, as far as 80's size and his length, like, he shouldn't have to switch. I mean, I wish they would go and just do, like, a hard hedge and force Trae Young to make a,
Cappy, you know a hard hedge?
Hard hedge, big time. That's that video game, right?
I thought you were going to go with like an actual hedge that was like hardened for some reason.
No. I thought it was a video game, or was that Hedgehogs?
Oh, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, right.
He's back. He's made a big comeback, Sonic. Yeah. Kids love Sonic again.
I guess so.
So if you look at the Lakers schedule, and DeAndre, to your point, yes, I think that everything is on the table, is what I would say when it comes to kind of their approach.
And I get it, especially how basketball is. Everyone is switching. Every team switches 1 through 5. Yeah. But as far as like how the Lakers defend, they're not capable of switching 1 through 5.
Yeah.
Because I mean, when you have a mismatch and then you have Gabe Vincent,
they're gonna hunt him every time.
Yeah, they're gonna hunt him every single time. And there was times in that game where Trae Young was just head hunting, and then he found Capella down low, he found Okongwu down low.
Right.
And I mean,
right, because that's what ends up happening is that Gabe ends up on one of the big guys, and then or whoever, one of the guards ends up on one of the big guys, and it's an easy bucket.
Exactly.
But you know what, though? They needed that win last night so badly.
Yeah.
I mean, when you got destroyed by the Timberwolves and you only scored 80,
right.
You got beat up by the Heat where you were completely, utterly humiliated.
Right.
And then you have a game against Atlanta where you just sort of give it away at the very end of that game.
Right.
I don't care if it was Portland or if it was, I don't care, Azusa Pacific they were playing. Bro, they needed a win.
Yeah, and the schedule doesn't get any easier. They got Minnesota coming up at Minnesota on Friday, which we'll be off for that too. Thank you, Rams and T-Wolves, for the back-to-back scheduling. Correct. Then they come back home for Memphis. They got a couple in Sacramento. Detroit playing much worse now, but they're frisky. Like, there's no question. We've already seen how frisky they are, right? So they're frisky. Then you got, like, it's a tough schedule. At the Warriors, then again the Kings. Oh, they play the Kings 3 times in, like, 11 days? That's crazy.
You read Plaschke today in the LA Times?
Yeah, Plaschke wants AD and LeBron to ask out, and, come on, stop.
Well, it put it this way.
I love you, Bill, but that's just patently absurd.
Well, it is, but it's only absurd for this reason.
Well, tell me on the other side. How about that?
All right.
Yeah, tell me about that. Cappy, tonight on Monday Night Football,
yeah,
you can root for the Bengals, led by Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Bart Simpson. Or you can cheer on the Cowboys, led by Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, Trevon Diggs, and Homer Simpson. Ay, caramba! The Simpsons Fun Day Football will be a true family affair and streams tonight on Disney Plus and ESPN Plus. Our friends Drew Carter, Nina Kimes, Dan Orlovsky will be on the call there. It's a real-time animated Monday Night Football game featuring the Bengals and Cowboys in the iconic Simpsons cartoon world. Each Bengals player and Cowboys player will appear in an animated version of themselves as an animated player for this special primetime matchup. Fans enjoying the Simpsons Fun Day Football will see every snap, run, pass, score, and more from the real-life Bengals and Cowboys matchup at AT&T Stadium as it all happens. Plus, our guy Stephen A. Smith will be out there. He'll be on the broadcast with Peyton and Eli Manning. They'll appear on the telecast as well. The game will feature dozens of the Simpsons' iconic characters like Lisa, Krusty, Moe, and more. The Simpsons Fun Day Football will stream tonight on Disney Plus and ESPN Plus and on your mobile devices with NFL Plus starting at 5 p.m. Pacific. Grab your kids, your family, and your friends to make this game one that you can enjoy together. I'm telling you, the Sedano kids, they're going to be watching this game. They loved the Toy Story one last season. They're going to love the Simpsons one. We're going to watch this one as a family, Cappy, as soon as we're done here on the show. My wife says that they're already locked in, ready to roll. As soon as the game starts, they're going to put on Disney Plus. So there you have it. You can watch it today. All right, coming up next, Cappy will finish his Lakers point. And then I want to get into this Juan Soto stuff. All right, so let's get into Juan Soto and kind of how it all trickles down and what it means for the Dodgers now that the Mets have him, et cetera. All that coming up next on 710 ESPN.
The most followed sports radio station in America.
710 ESPN.
At ESPN Los Angeles on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch.
LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
Hey guys, it's Cap. So you get this letter from the Department of Water and Power with 2 big bold words, high usage. And you don't really know what to do about it, but you kind of have an idea of who you can blame. So you go knock on your daughter's door and you go, hey, would you stop showering for 45 minutes twice a day? And then you go to your son and say, would you please stop washing your car 3 times a week? And then you continue with your life until you get another one of these beautiful letters that says high usage on it. This is where the Water Boy comes in. The Water Boy specializes in pressurized leak detection. All they do, day in and day out, is go to homes and find leaks. Their state-of-the-art equipment allows them to visually and acoustically inspect your pipes to find that stubborn leak that's constantly flowing. It can be anything from a failing toilet to a burst pipe in your slab. You don't even know it existed. They have ample amounts of experience from water damage restoration to general construction and plumbing that, when combined, allows them to master the art of leak detection. They do non-destructive leak detections, which means they're not going to open or damage the structure of your home. Their equipment is advanced enough to listen to the exposed surfaces and indicate where the leak is occurring. They are widely used by homeowners, property managers, and even realtors to inspect pressurized water systems to make sure they're intact and functioning with no leaks. Call Omer at the Waterboy Leak Detection today, 818-518-5055. Visit thewaterboyinc.com. That's the Waterboy Leak Detection at 818-518-5055. Talk to Omer. He's going to take good care of you at the Waterboy. Visit thewaterboyinc.com.
Hey, it's Mace. You have never experienced anything like Cosm. Trust me, it will blow your mind, and you can experience the Emirates NBA Cup like never before. NBA action in immersive shared reality. Every assist and dunk and buzzer beater comes to life on Cosm's immense 8K plus wraparound display. Use our exclusive discount code ESPNLA. Get 20% off any NBA event in November. Get your tickets now at Cosm.com. That's COSM.com.
Hi, this is Sean McVay of your LA Rams. The Rams play here. KSPN, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A good karma brands radio station.
710 ESPN.
Sedano and Kap for your afternoon right now on 710 ESPN.
It's time for what you need to know.
Let's do it. What you need to know right now.
What you need to know is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times, less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Take it away, Linz.
All right, so what you need to know is that unless you've been living under a rock, maybe you don't need to know this and you've already heard that superstar outfielder Juan Soto and the Mets are in agreement on a 15-year, $765 million contract, the largest deal in pro sports history. The deal includes an opt-out after 5 years and no deferred money. And if Soto opts out, the Mets can void it by increasing his annual salary in the final 10 seasons by $4 million, taking the total value over $800 million. He also gets the $75 million signing bonus. So, yeah, pretty good.
pretty good. How about this? You ready? I'll make it better. $51 million a year, $75 million signing bonus, $4.25 million a month, $140,000 per day, $1 million a week, $6,000 per hour, $100 per minute, and $2 per second.
Wow.
How about that?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I was listening to Mason in Ireland earlier talking about this contract, and Ireland and I think even Bergman might have said they didn't think it was a worthwhile venture. Juan Soto has the third best active on-base plus slugging percentage in all of baseball. Like, it's Aaron Judge for his career, by the way. I'm not talking about just like single season. It's Aaron Judge, Mike Trout, and Juan Soto. That's the list.
I was going to say, I wonder if they would think it was worthwhile if he signed with the Dodgers.
Right. But I again, like, he is arguably the best hitter in baseball. So, and not only the best hitter, but arguably the best offensive player in baseball because he gets on base so much because he takes so many walks. I mean, there's just not a lot of guys that have put up the production that he's put up. I mean, you're talking about, you have to go way back to like a Mickey Mantle to put up some of the numbers that he's put up in his career already at age 25.
There's just one thing, though, that kind of just, for me, this is just me now. Like, okay, for example, if you said to me, look, you can play for the Lakers or you could play for the Clippers. And
right.
Here's the deal.
The Yankees and the Mets are yes and no. They're not really that, though. Like, the Mets have a large fan base, as you know.
They do, but they don't have near the success, and they are
sort
of the little
brother. No, they don't have 27
brother.
championships.
Right.
They have the two or whatever, and that's it. But they are the equivalent is not Lakers Clippers.
But they are the second team.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, correct.
So I guess what I'm getting at is this: if you said to me, listen, you can play for the Lakers for 5 years and $100 million.
Yeah.
Or you could play for the Clippers in 4 years and $105 million.
Right.
I would be more inclined to go play for the bigger brand.
Yeah,
if you said to me, hey, listen, you get the Yankees is $760 million over 16 years,
right? One extra year,
and the Mets are $765 for one fewer year,
right?
At that point, we're talking about 15, 16 years from now, when in all likelihood, Juan Soto's not even really playing, and if he is, he's not productive to a $51 million a year deal in all likelihood. And then we're talking about a small number of dollars at the end of this whole thing. When it's all said and done, me personally, I'd rather play for the Yankees over the Mets if the money's virtually the same. I'd rather play for the Lakers over the Clippers. I'd rather play for the Knicks over the Nets. I'd rather play for the Cubs over the White Sox, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What bothered me about this whole thing was, for Juan Soto, and he's pretty much said it, so I mean, I don't really know why it rubs me the wrong way. He was going to wherever he got the most money, period, end of conversation.
Correct.
And I read a story today in the New York Post. I don't know if you've ever heard this. I hadn't until today. Apparently, the Yankees were in poor standing with Juan Soto because I guess earlier in the year, some of his family members and maybe like his chef/driver were kind of shut down by Yankee security, and it really pissed Juan Soto off. So he was angry with the Yankees, and they were on their hands and knees kissing his ass trying to make it right.
Yep. But it says that they didn't even offer him like what the Mets offered him. It's not like he was choosing between the same amount of money.
No. He from what I've read is they got to $760.
Right, but it's also less money per year by $4 million, basically.
Right, but again, and listen, it's not my money, so I listen.
I mean, it's all guaranteed, but it's $5 million less. Yes.
Right, but that's what I'm getting at. Is like, think about that.
Yeah, but I'll tell you this. This is no longer. You know who the. So George Steinbrenner in our lifetime, the father, would have never been outbid for Juan Soto. Never in his wildest dreams.
Especially to the Mets, by the way.
Correct. Here's what I will tell you, though. Steve Cohen, the Mets owner.
Yeah, he ain't getting outbid.
He's the new George Steinbrenner.
Yeah, and he's
the guy worth $20 billion.
Right. His money is like what they gave him. That would be a lot of money to the Yankees, and that's not a lot of money to him.
Right.
At all.
Yeah.
And here's what I would also say. The Yankees have to deal in a new world of not only the Mets in their backyard, but clearly the Dodgers and the Guggenheim Group and them having deep pockets, right? Like we've seen that. So, like, the Yankees are no longer in a tier by themselves where they were for many, many years in regards to going after the high-priced free agent.
All I'm going to say is one thing about Juan Soto, okay? And listen, everything you said, George, is completely fair and accurate. All the statistics tell you he's one of the best players in baseball. He's one of the best hitters in baseball. He's a top 3 hitter in baseball. All I'm going to tell you guys is
he might be the best hitter in baseball.
He might be.
Yeah.
But I will say this. When he was playing in Washington, I was like not really that connected,
I mean,
paying
he was
attention.
amazing in helping them win a World Series.
He was, and he was a young kid. He was 21 years old. But remember, he also had Max Scherzer on that team. He also had Strasburg on that team. It was not just Juan Soto, okay? And then when he came to San Diego.
There we go.
What? Here we go what?
There we go.
Here we go what?
Here we go.
But what?
What? Tell me.
No, you tell me.
I mean, I'm just curious as to where this is going.
I watched him play for one full year, 162 games.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the year, the stats said he had a great year. Team didn't have a good year. He had a good statistical year.
If you watched him play in the postseason this year with the Yankees,
he was amazing.
He was freaking credible.
He was amazing.
He hit he had an at bat in Game 5 against Cleveland, against one of your power pitchers. And he was like, if you watch the at bat, I forget the guy's name. Kind of has like longish hair.
Eli Morgan.
No.
Sure.
No.
It was the other guy with the long hair.
They all look exactly the same with the exception of Eli Morgan, pretty much.
All I'm saying to you is this.
Well, anyway, so real quick.
You'll get us his name.
Hold on. In this at-bat, in Game 5, okay, they clearly don't want to face Aaron Judge behind him, right? He's throwing him every piece of junk he can throw at him. Number one, because he doesn't want to give him anything to hit. Number two, because the guy's fastball was wearing off at that point in the game. And we're in the latter stages of the game now. Juan Soto is fouling off pitch after pitch after pitch, and every time he fouls one off, he's looking right at the pitcher, and he's kind of smiling at him like, I'm on to you. You're going to have to throw me that crappy fastball at some point. And then he hit it right over the center field fence. Like, he's that good.
Yeah, I'm just going to say this. For me, my opinion, I think it's a crazy deal, and it's not because it's my money. I don't care. Steve Cohen's got all he's a multi-gazillion billionaire. Good for him. Your point is right on. Steve Cohen bought the Mets, and Steve Cohen wants to make the Mets a World Series champion. And if you've ever heard any of his interviews, he said it from the very beginning. He looks at the Mets as a community asset. He looks at owning the Mets as a form of philanthropy to make other people happy, and he's going to spend whatever it takes to win. I personally think that when it's all said and done, you're going to look back and go, is Juan Soto a guy who by himself puts a team on his back, or has Juan Soto always been on good teams where he's been a part of how good these teams are? For me, I watched him for an entire year, 162 games every day, and at the end of the year, numbers were good, wins weren't. I was not impressed. Not a great outfielder, not a great base runner.
The wins weren't because the Padres stunk.
Oh, yeah, they had a terrible year.
Alex Rodriguez won the MVP on the worst team in baseball. Baseball is an individual sport masqueraded as a team sport. Now, what I will tell you is this. The Mets are good. The Mets gave the Dodgers a better run than anybody.
Not true. Not accurate.
I would even maybe the Padres, I guess. But, we don't know because it wasn't a 7-game series. So, over a 7-game series, the Mets gave them a better series than the Yankees did.
Facts. Listen, for me, I'm now fascinated by it. If it were me and I were Juan Soto and you offered me $765 over here or $760 here, if $5 million is the deciding factor, I just don't get it.
By the way, he played – yeah, listen, his numbers – I'm looking at him here. I know you said the numbers were good. He finished – let me see. 132 RBIs in a full season with San Diego. That's really damn good. He led the league.
Like I said, the numbers were good. The numbers were good.
Right.
But it's we've talked about this with somebody else. Oh, with Russell Wilson, where his numbers were good, but the wins weren't there and they weren't impactful. That was exactly the kind of season that he had.
But that's different with a quarterback than just one player in Major League Baseball.
Listen, all I'm saying is this. I'm glad that the Dodgers didn't sign him, and I'm glad that the Mets did. And now let's see what happens when you spend $765 million on a 15-year contract where the guy is probably going to play whatever it may be, 10 years, 11 years. For me,
yeah.
If really that's all you cared about was, hey, these guys are paying me $1 more than these guys.
You of all people is going to complain about not taking the top dollar? You're going to bitch about somebody taking the most money?
Yes, I am. That's correct. Yes,
do you realize the irony in that when all you talk about is you always wanting money?
Yes, but what I'm saying to you is that, again, if the Lakers offered me the same deal that the Clippers offered me and the Lakers was just a little bit less, I might consider it. That's all.
You're full of matzah.
Well, perhaps. But good luck to Juan Soto and good luck to Steve Cohen. He's also full of matzah.
Good luck to Andrew Whitworth. Big Whit's going to join us on the other side. But first, Cappy, tell us about your friends at Ocean Subaru.
Yeah, right now, the 2024 Subaru Share the Love event is happening at Ocean Subaru. So I'm really psyched about this because last year we told you that Subaru had raised at that point about $250 million. With our 17th consecutive year now, we're up to $320 million where we make donations to national and local charities. So when you buy or lease a new Subaru between now and January 2nd, you can make a donation to the ASPCA, Make-A-Wish, Meals on Wheels, or the National Park Foundation. And for every new or leased car, it's a $250 donation. But in Fullerton, at Ocean Subaru of Fullerton, we're working with the Women's Club of Fullerton. That is our local charity of choice during this very meaningful Share the Love event. So what you need to do is come on down to Ocean Subaru, learn all about the safest vehicles on the road, talk to one of their outstanding salespeople, and let's get you into a brand new Subaru. Ocean Subaru is conveniently located at 1100 South Euclid in Fullerton, just off the 91 freeway. Go to oceansubaruoc.com. That's oceansubaruoc.com. Ocean Subaru of Fullerton. They make you smile at every mile.
Don't miss Travis and DeMarco.
It's T. Raj and D. Farr.
I think it's called age. Age, beer. Is that why I put on 6 pounds in 2 weeks? Because I'm old?
You did?
I did.
Weekdays at 9 a.m.
on 710 ESPN.
Hey guys, it's Cappy. You've heard me talk about my personal situation with my divorce and subsequent custody battle in the past, and I know that you need a team behind you to get the justice you deserve. My friend Mark Reel and his team at Real Fathers Rights are here to help you guys. Visit realfathersrights.com/710. That's REEL. realfathersrights.com/710 or call 323-870-1611. That's 323-870-1611. Real Fathers Rights. The Father's Rights Attorneys.
John Ireland here to tell you about my friends at Mirror Audio Video in Westwood. Listen, if you're thinking about upgrading your home or office with the best brands in the world, like Crestron, Nice, Lutron, or Control 4, it's got to be Mirror and no one else. Why? Because for more than 40 years, the biggest names in Hollywood, sports, and business have all trusted Mirror, and so should you. Want to learn more? Call 310-234-4010 or check them out at mirroraudiovideo.com today.
Cars for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. You'll get a maximum tax deduction and a vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Paid for by Cars for Kids.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
This is Sedano and Kap for your afternoon drive.
Walks around like a little puppy dog.
On 710 ESPN.
Sedano and Kap with you here on 710 ESPN. Big Rams win yesterday. We'll get to that. Andrew Whitworth will join us in just a few moments. Rams great. You can watch him on Amazon. We'll talk some Rams and some NFL with him. Speaking of NFL, tonight on Monday Night Football, you can root for the Bengals, led by Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Bart Simpson. Or you could cheer for the Cowboys, led by Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, Javon Diggs, and Homer Simpson. Ay caramba! The Simpsons Fun Day Football will be a true family affair and streams tonight on Disney Plus and ESPN Plus. It's a real-time animated Monday Night Football game featuring the Bengals and Cowboys in the iconic Simpsons cartoon world. Yep, you heard that right. Each Bengals and Cowboys player will appear as an animated player for this special primetime matchup, including the broadcasters as well. Our buddy Drew Carter, Mina Kimes, and Dan Orlovsky will also be on the call. Fans enjoying the Simpsons Fun Day Football will see every snap, run, pass, or score, and more from the real-life Bengals and Cowboys matchup at AT&T Stadium as it happens. Plus, Stephen A. Smith, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning will appear on the telecast as well. The game will feature dozens of Simpsons iconic characters. Fun Day Football will stream tonight on Disney Plus and ESPN Plus and on your mobile devices with NFL Plus starting at 5 o'clock. Grab your kids and your family and your friends and make this game a game that you can enjoy together. All right,
George, take a breath here for 1 second. I wanted to say one thing about Big Wit, who's about to join us. Remember about a year ago when I found Big Wit in a Peloton class?
Yes, I do remember.
Okay. Big Wit, are you there? Let me say
I'm
this
here,
to him as
baby.
well. Big Wit. So the other day I'm taking one of our, club banger type rides, and I high-five somebody that had a name, Ride with Wit. And I was like, is that Big Wit? I'm high-fiving this person. This person's high-fiving me back. I'm like, yeah, me and Wit are in a big class together. Turns out Ride with Wit is a lady named Whitney Florados from Marina Del Rey. That was not you, Big Wit. I thought I was riding with you, pal.
No, that wasn't me, buddy. That wasn't me.
Are
I'm
you
glad
still-
you were riding. That's all that matters.
Are you Pelotoning? Are you keeping fit?
Oh yeah, baby. I'm at the gym. I'm Peloton. I do it all, man. When you're traveling as much as I do, you got to have an open mind about your training session. So sometimes it involves walking the cities or jogging or in a hotel gym, but you got to be open to whatever's out there.
Now, you using the hoodie while you're Pelotoning?
Good question.
It depends. I got some hoodie looks for the workouts. Every now and then I'll break out a couple different ones, but yeah, I usually have a hoodie on most of the time.
All right, cool.
Whit, what a game yesterday for the Rams. I mean, George and I were having this conversation. Maybe the most entertaining football game of the entire season, and a game where the Rams had to have it if we were all going to take them seriously. Huge win over Buffalo, who's probably considered like the second best team in the AFC. What did you think about the Rams' performance yesterday?
Oh, I mean, it was awesome. I was there. It was a fun game to watch. I mean, obviously, you're playing Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, who have looked like one of the better teams in the league. It's a great opportunity, if any. You got to get your season going. Why not have the biggest challenge possible? A team like that coming to you, and they rose to the challenge. I mean, look at it up front, really set the tone. It's 2 weeks in a row, which still seems just crazy to think that in weeks 13 and 14, the Rams finally get healthy enough to have the two tackles and two guards they plan to play this season. And then, obviously Bo Limmer's been a guy who's earned the right to be the center. But to have 2 weeks in a row, you actually get to have the starting lineup you hope to have to start the season is kind of crazy. But those guys played great and physical, and the run game's come along. And, Matthew Stafford was out of his mind. I mean, there's so many throws that you just go, what, holy shit, what was that? So he was unbelievable.
I said the exact same thing, just to be clear, just so you know. I said the exact same thing. Now, on the other hand, though, I mean, you look at Josh Allen, 3 touchdown passes, 3 touchdowns on the ground. In the history of the NFL, we've never seen an offensive performance quite like that. Are you concerned about the Rams' defense given what they gave up yesterday?
Well, I mean, you think you look at that game. You obviously with Stafford and Josh Allen, it's just like, man, what would happen if both these guys are on fire, both play callers are in a groove, and all their skill guys have their best day possible? Well, there it was. That's what would happen if all those things fell into place in one day, because, on both sides you had guys making all kinds of plays. Josh and Matthew throwing the ball in really tight windows, making insane plays themselves. And you think of Puka Nacua and the impact he had, and the Cooper's touchdown catch. I mean, obviously some amazing football going on, some big one-on-one matchups won in the game on both sides. But, yeah, I think to me, listen, the game of football will always be matchups. And what I mean by that is individual and team matchups. And so for the Los Angeles Rams right now defensively, listen, the defense has been kind of piecemealed together over the last offseason with Aaron Donald and people like that leaving, and then obviously you had some turnover of players, and some of these salary cap things have really resulted in being really young and a lot of young players or new players playing on that defense. So they're going to struggle against some of the best offenses. But I think one of the ones that's going to really stick out when you watch them is when you start to play teams that really have a mobile quarterback or a guy who can extend plays. You think of Kyler Murray's success earlier in the year against them, what Josh Allen was able to do, and even Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. Really, the fact that they give you so many, that could be the quarterback with the ball, the running back with the ball, all of that type stuff, and spread you out and spread you thin there. It's just going to be a struggle, because I wouldn't say that the Rams are really built with a crazy amount of team speed on defense. And so even their great rushers, not necessarily the fastest guys. So that's going to be a challenge for them throughout the season. And so it's going to come down to, if they can make a run to these playoffs, can they handle Kyler Murray, in the coming weeks? Can they handle some of San Francisco's challenges they're going to give them this week? Geno Smith and the Seahawks, they seem to play well again. So that's a great opportunity for them, and it seems like that game will mean the division. And then if you do make it to the playoffs, can you handle a mobile quarterback? And that'll be a big factor for them.
Yeah, and look, they had to go up against, I think, the toughest one this past week in Josh Allen.
No, I mean, Josh Allen's an alien, man.
Right, yeah. McVay said it, too. It's just, I mean, what he did yesterday, 3 touchdowns in the air, 3 touchdowns on the ground, hasn't been done in the modern era. Like, you have to go back to, like, when we were watching football in black and white with leather helmets, basically. That's how far back you have to go to see what he did yesterday. But let me ask you about the NFC at large. I mean, you've seen a lot of these teams now in person. Who is the team to beat, in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the NFC, it's wild to me because you thought probably over the last few weeks the way the Eagles have been coming on, man, it's like it's been unbelievable. Now it's all been kind of built on the back of Saquon Barkley and this offensive line, and they are second to nobody as far as if you talk about the Eagles and the Lions, really probably in this division. Those 2 offensive lines are unbelievable. But, you know, Saquon and that group's done well. Now you see Jalen Hurts has continued to just not really wow you yet this season. He's had some good moments, but nothing that you're like, man, I feel good about this. And it's kind of felt like something you're a little like something's off. And now you see all this come out with A.J. Brown and him. And so I worry about that dynamic. And will it have an impact on a game? Because I don't like it when you're creating your own pressure and your own anxiety, you know, through the media and through everything else. And that concerns me. But when you talk about the trenches and the offensive line and the defensive line, this Philadelphia Eagles group is healthy and they're as talented as anybody. And defensively, kind of answering some of those questions in the secondary of things in years past that have harbored. I mean, Cooper John's been unbelievable. Kenyon Mitchell. I mean, those guys, they look like, hey, man, this secondary, this D-line, they're going to be a defense going to be tough to beat. And obviously we know how good Vic Fangio is. But then on the other side, the Detroit Lions, I mean, what weapon do they not have? An insane offensive line. Jared Goff's playing out of his mind. Every skill player you could ever want and every kind of makeup of a basketball team of skill guys you'd ever want to have. And then also defensively, they've continued to lose guys, but they've continued to play great. And it looks like they'll get some of those guys back outside of a few by the end of this season. So I think when you talk about it, to me, the class of for the conference is the Lions and the Eagles. I think if the Lions get some of those guys back healthy on defense, I still think that they're right there with the Eagles and they're the number one team. But I think after this past week, I probably would have gone into the week and said the Eagles had passed them up. And then getting to watch the Lions and Packers play Thursday night, I think I'm back to thinking the Lions are the number one team.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this, because I feel like, and Cap and I are in agreement on this, so I'm just curious to your thoughts. With the Chiefs, it feels like everyone is trying to poke holes in the Chiefs and, you know, point differential, whatever, this, that, and the other, tight games. We look at it as this way. They've built a callus, basically, in these close games. They've been in so many of them that it doesn't faze them. How do you view them?
Yeah, I mean, let's talk. I mean, are we just going to ignore that all percentages say how many of these games come down to one score, right? I mean, that's what playoff football is. And guess who the best team in the world at handling one-score games has shown over and over and over again? It's the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes with the ball, with a chance to win a game, is the last guy you want to face. And them figuring it out defensively, everything else, into the game, you just bet on Spags, you bet on Andy Reid, you bet on Patrick Mahomes and those guys figuring it out. And to me, like, you can't take for granted how hard it is to win in this league every single week. And they have continued to show that they have the ability to find a way to win a game, to suffocate you in those last 5 minutes of every game. They just want to hold on to you long enough. You know, they're like if you're in MMA, they're not the striker, they're not that guy. They're the guy that want to get you on the ground the whole fight. And by the end of it, you're going to want to tap out because they're just going to smother you the whole entire time. And so I think that's just who they are. That's their style. And they know exactly who they are in that way. And I think it's just going to be one of those things where until the team proves they can beat them, we're going to keep saying that they don't look good enough, but they're just going to keep winning games. And that's, last time I checked, the only freaking thing that matters. Point differential, how sexy it is, how cute it is, doesn't matter. I would love to be on the team that's just winning all the time, and I could give a crap about any of the stats.
Hey, Big Whip, before you go, did you know when you were playing that your after-football playing career would be media A, and B, that it would turn into this? I mean, Amazon and the TV commercials, and I don't know, I would argue that, you know, you're a much more famous announcer today than you were a ball player. Did you know this was going to happen? Did you plan for this?
No clue. I mean, listen, I got in the league, man, in 2006. I remember our offensive line coach told us basically, we're either going to pay a fine or he's never going to talk to us if we ever speak to a reporter. So, in offensive line worlds back in the day, man, you weren't allowed to talk, right? You were a lineman. You block, you shut up. That's basically it. So to think that, like, now, ending my career, getting to do this, it's not something I ever thought about. It's not something I ever even dreamed of. But you know what? I will say, like, every time I did an interview or did a talk on something would come up, it never failed that the reporter or the cameraman or somebody would say, like, dude, you need to do TV when you're done. And I just never really paid attention to it. And when I got done, it was an option out there. And I was like, you know what? I'm in a world or mind space if I want to try everything under the sun now, and I'm done playing football, so let's just go try stuff and be curious. And it's been a blast. I never would have thought it'd be so much fun, so I've had a blast doing it, and I'm just honored to still be a part of it.
Big Wit, before we let you go, I don't know if you heard when you were coming on, we got this on Disney Plus today. The Monday Night Football game will be on ESPN. The Manning Cast will be on ESPN too. But we got the Simpsons game, the cartoon version of the game on Disney Plus. If you could have been any cartoon in your playing days that you could watch yourself play as a cartoon, it could be any cartoon, animated series, animation, whatever it is. Which one would you want to be?
Man, any cartoon, that would be good. I mean, I can remember growing up with All-Stars and a lot of those type cartoons. But I would probably say back in the day, for me personally, I would love to just be He-Man, I loved some He-Man back in the day, man. So I think I was probably in that, but, most people would probably put me in some kind of other world of, the different ones. But I liked He-Man back in the day. That was my thing, G.I. Joe, He-Man, some Transformers. Yeah. I'm dating myself right now.
Listen, you're in my wheelhouse. We're the same age.
Good stuff.
Yeah. We are around the same age. That is absolutely my wheelhouse of being like an 80s, late 80s, early 90s kid for sure. Big Wit, check him out on Amazon. He's the man. He joins us every couple times a year during the football season. Always a pleasure to have you, man. Thanks so much for the time.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Y'all have a great one.
All right, take care.
Big Win. Who would you be, George? What's your cartoon character?
I would have gone like Transformers. I would have gone like from like the kid version of me for sure, and I would have been like I wanted to be like Optimus Prime or something like that. Yeah.
See, I would rather be. There was a cartoon when I was a kid of Mr. T. Mr. T got so famous
he had his own cartoon,
that he had a cartoon. So I want to be Mr. T, sucker. I come to your house. I take your TV. I give it to somebody who wants to watch Mr. T, fool.
Yeah,
that's what I want to do.
By the way, speaking of kids and cartoons, when you go to Children's Dental Fun Zone, Cappy, that's how they put fun in the name. Every kid's station that they're getting their work done has a cartoon on or a cartoon movie. I bet you they'll have this ESPN Plus game, this Disney Plus game on, the Simpsons game tonight. So here's the deal. I know going to the dentist is tough and taking your kids to the dentist is tough because they don't want to go. But we've just explained to you one of the reasons why it's always fun for your kid at Children's Dental Fun Zone. Fun is in the name for a reason. Let me tell you more about my friends at Children's Dental Fun Zone. Over 18 locations in the Southland to choose from. They got you covered in L.A. County. Got you covered in Orange County. They got you covered in the IE. They got you covered in Oxnard, baby. Shout out to the 805. Children's Dental Fun Zone specializes in children's dentistry and orthodontics with state-of-the-art equipment and personal attention your kids deserve. And I already told you, okay, every station, you're good to go. Your kids are going to walk into one of these Children's Dental Fun Zone locations, and they're going to think they're in an animated feature, okay? That's the reality of it. So they offer movies for the kids, iPads for the kids, toys for the kids in the waiting area, and for parents, they accept Medi-Cal, PPO, and HMO insurance plans. When you're done at Children's Dental Fun Zone, your kids are going to be like, Mom, Dad, when are we coming back to the dentist? Words you never thought you'd hear, but you will because you took them to Children's Dental Fun Zone. To book your child's first or next appointment at Children's Dental Fun Zone, visit their website, cdfzone.com. That's cdfzone.com, or call them at 800-717-KIDS. That's 800-717-KIDS.
The most followed sports radio station in America.
710 ESPN.
At ESPN Los Angeles on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch.
LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
Here's the scenario. Your home is flooded and there's extensive water damage. This is when it can feel as though your relationship with your insurance has become an abusive one. They don't agree that you need a replacement living arrangement, despite it being glaringly obvious. Then, the insurance adjuster leaves you hanging. You feel abandoned with a home that is no longer livable, and you now have no other choice than to use the insurance contractor to make repairs, which includes their brazen attempt at lowballing the estimate. Okay, so here's what you do. You take a deep breath, then you call Avner Gatt. They're one of California's largest public adjusting firms, and trust me, size does matter in this case because Avner Gatt has experienced it all. Insurance companies can make you feel like a criminal, leaving you with no hope in getting your home back together. Avner Gatt knows exactly how to handle these situations. Not only do they have extensive knowledge on how to handle your dilemma, but they remain passionate about helping people. It's why Avner and his family continue to take the calls themselves at Avner Gatt Inc. They cover all of Southern California, and if I haven't convinced you with all of these truth bombs thus far, just check out what seems to be a never-ending stream of 5-star reviews on Yelp, Google, and the Better Business Bureau. So, whether you have a toilet overflow, a broken water line, a burst supply line, a broken fire sprinkler, whatever the water damage is at home, call Avner Gatt today. 818-917-5256. That's 818-917-5256. And you can go online to avnergatt.com.
Gear up and get out to Kelsey's at Pachanga, the top spot in the Temecula Valley to watch all the Monday Night Football action. Dozens of TVs means all your favorite games, plus a M&F food menu fit for the greatest fans. Sliders, loaded tater tots, pulled pork pizza, and a lot more. Plus, you'll find beers on tap and incredible craft cocktails at Kelsey's. Visit Pachanga.com and follow at Pachanga Casino on Instagram for info about special and exclusive NFL team appearances. We'll see you at Kelsey's at Pachanga.
Inspired by Southern California's laid-back yet active lifestyle, Travis Mathew creates premium men's and women's apparel designed to make you look and feel your best no matter the activity. Now, Travis Mathew brings that same style to USC fans with their first-ever collegiate collaboration. Designed with the iconic cardinal and gold, this collection carries the tradition and legacy of USC. Gear up for game days in style. New customers get 20% off their first order with code 710 at travismathew.com. That's code 710. Offer valid online only.
Score a win with Amazon Pickup, the MVP of package pickup options. Amazon Pickup is a convenient and secure way to collect your Amazon packages from locations that are near you. This season, keep your holiday gifts a surprise when you choose to pick up from Amazon Locker or Counter. Whether you're hustling between home, work, or your usual game day spots, grab your packages on your schedule. Amazon Pickup is the worry-free option for the times when home delivery isn't ideal. To find your nearest Amazon Pickup location, go to amazon.com/pickupmvp. That's amazon.com/pickupmvp.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
And it is Sedano Kap. Around 5:30 p.m. in the Southland Radio Tinder time, we like to play a TV theme. You can follow her at Lindsay Baseball on Twitter or Instagram. Don't forget about our sponsor, Tequila Mandala. Always swipe right on Tequila Mandala. Take it away, producer Lindsay.
Name that wrestling theme.
I don't know.
Let me hear it.
I would say.
Oh.
Yeah. Now I know it.
Still not really. I mean, I know the song. I just can't get it.
You suck.
Uh-huh.
You suck. People got mad at him and did that, you know.
I don't have it.
Roman Reigns?
No, he won the gold medals
Kurt
with a
Angle?
broken
Kurt
freaking
Angle.
neck.
Yeah, Kurt Angle. By the way, today a friend of mine had to go to court. He sends me a picture. He was wearing his NWO socks in court.
Oh, jeez.
He was like, "Hey, listen, I got a battle on my hand." He had Razor Ramon, I guess Scott Hall on one side, and Kevin Nash on the other side. It's a nice pair of socks to have.
Yeah. By the way, it is a nice pair of socks. I remember when we should turn into the the 710 WO over here on this show. I feel like we could do that. By the way, this segment brought to you by our friends at Tequila Mandala. Always swipe right on Tequila Mandala. Award-winning small batch premium sippy tequila made from the finest mature agaves, available everywhere fine tequilas are sold. So visit their website tequilamandala.com and demand the extraordinary with Tequila Mandala.
All right, so I'm going to bring up the first radio tenor I'm going to bring up here is last week we mentioned that the trailer is out for the new Aaron Rodgers Netflix documentary called Enigma. And I know that you said that you hadn't seen it yet, so I'm just going to play a quick little part of it here.
I live between two worlds of the extroverted
1, 2, 3, dominate!
and an introverted lover of silence. I'm trying to beat back Father Time and the expectations.
Aaron Rodgers ain't for everybody.
Rodgers has shared controversial and crazy conspiracy theories.
It just feels like you're either for him or against him.
Losing friendships, family, it was heartbreaking.
Here come the Jets. Rodgers has something to prove. It is on. Protection breaks. Down goes Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers has officially tore his Achilles.
It's catastrophic.
Is it time for him to retire?
What does the future hold for Aaron Rodgers?
Love the beginning of this trailer. So, Cappy, let me ask you first. Are you watching Aaron Rodgers Enigma? Swipe left or swipe right?
I will swipe right and say that I'd like to watch it, but I would have to find the time to watch it.
Yeah.
Last night, I was watching some of the highlights, and they asked Aaron Rodgers after the game because they lost to Miami 32-26, and they said, that the Jets haven't been in the playoffs in 14 years, and he goes, yeah, what's the question? And they're like, well, what do you think about that? He's like, I've been the starter for 1 year. What do you want me to tell you? Listen,
point.
I got to be honest with you. I thought Aaron Rodgers was going to have a really big year this year. I was dead wrong, and I think he's completely done.
Swipe left, no interest. So, thanks. Before we get to question number 2, let me tell you something real quick, Cabby. You know those memes about guys panicking over last-minute holiday shopping?
I do.
That was me for a long, long time. I was the guy shopping at Christmas Eve, trying to rush through the mall or get everything every single year. Not this year. Holiday strategy is less stuff, more flowers. Sending farm fresh flowers from the Books Company. Books is short for bouquets, and we've got a 25% off discount just for you with the promo code ESPN. 25% off your entire Books purchase so you can send some flowers too. Here's why I love the Books Company. They're different. Flowers cut fresh and sourced directly from the best flower farms in the world, so they last way longer, okay? They even have flowers that grow on the freaking side of a volcano, man. And it was easy. I picked a bouquet, set my delivery date, boom, good to go, no wrapping required. Books is perfect for those who have everything. You know what? You get them something that's beautiful. Get a festive bouquet for mom, a mini tree for grandma, and go big with a flower subscription for your significant other, wife, girlfriend, etc. It's basically happiness on repeat. And right now, you can save 25% off with our promo code ESPN. That's pretty simple to remember. Go to Books.com, use the promo code ESPN. That's BOUQS.com, promo code ESPN. BOUQS.com, promo code ESPN. Books.com, promo code ESPN.
You know, they do a great job of texting. So they're great at reminding you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you'll all of a sudden get a text.
I
You're
need
like, who's
that.
this?
I'm sure you
so
do too.
That's why I think it's great.
Yeah.
Perfect for you, Cappy. Well, speaking
Yes, sir.
of texting or text, Merriam-Webster chose its 2024 word of the year. Do you know what it is yet?
The
Have you heard it?
2024 word of the year.
Yeah, they do one every year. It's like the most popular word of the year. Well,
Is it lit?
It's not lit. I know you wish it was lit.
Is it junt?
It's not John either. It is
Okay.
polarization.
Polarization's a good one.
Polarization is, quote, division into two sharply distinct opposites, a state in which the opinions, beliefs, or interests of a group or society no longer range along a continuum but become concentrated at opposing extremes. Do you use the word polarization? Like, do you think you used it once in the past year? Swipe left or swipe right?
I've used polarizing,
Right.
so a derivative of it.
That
yeah.
counts.
So I would swipe right, yes.
Yeah, I'm swiping right, too. I think things are now polarizing, you know? So, yes, I think that has become a very popular word. I think a lot of us use it. I'll tell you one that I would never use is like narrative. Narrative is a word that
That's
all
an
of a sudden got
annoying word.
popular, and I
Yes.
would never, ever, ever use it.
We banned it on Around the Horn. You
It's
can't use
annoying. It's very annoying.
But
Like, seriously,
polarizing
Tony
is good.
will mute you. He'll mute your ass.
No narrative.
Yeah,
If you
but
use the word
polarizing is a
narrative.
good word. I like. I'll tell you another word that I don't love that everybody uses now. Everybody's got a platform.
Oh, yeah,
I've
you're
got
right.
a platform. You've got a platform. How's a platform? Good night. Hey, that's a nice platform.
Well, it's a platform for you to stand on to speak your nonsense, which
Right,
we do
which-
here every day.
I'm going to have. I use this platform on top of the platform.
Exactly. Go ahead, Linz.
Well, We're good. That's it.
That's it.
That's all you got for us, huh?
Yeah.
That's it.
We got to, keep it tight.
Yeah, keep it tight.
Keep it tight.
Keep it tight. Cappy, tell us about your friends at Sellers Advantage then, because coming up next, I want to get into the college football playoff stuff.
Me too.
And I want to get into just kind of like the way this unfolded, because I do think there are changes coming, but we can get into that next.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's talk about Seller's Advantage. Look, I've mentioned this to you guys a million times. Everybody has a different reason for wanting to sell their house. Like in some cases, mom and dad left you a house and you're paying property taxes. You're not living there. You don't want to have this house anymore. Let's sell that thing. You're ready to move out of town. Your kids are off to school. You're ready to downsize. Let's sell that thing. If you are ready to move out of the state because you can no longer get homeowners insurance that's affordable, let's sell it, man. Whatever your reason is for selling your home, Seller's Advantage can help you. They can help you do it fast. They'll make you a competitive cash offer, which means you don't have any repairs. You can close in days. There's no complicated closing processes. There's no contracts potentially falling through. Seller's Advantage has been making sellers happy for years. They've got all the reviews to prove it. So here's the thing. You might as well just call them today. There's a no-obligation offer, 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-2747, or better yet, make it easy. Just go to sellersadvantage.com.
You never have to miss a moment of LA's mega sports station. Get the all-new ESPN LA app.
Just search ESPN LA in your App Store or Google Play.
Download, tap, and bam!
You got 710 ESPN in the palm of your hand.
Cars for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
Hurry! It's your last chance to donate for 2024.
Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. No title? No problem. Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS or go online at carsforkids.org to donate today.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Paid for by Cars for Kids.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is Sedano and Kap for your afternoon drive.
How is that related?
On 710 ESPN.
Yeah, holiday season is here. And football is here today, Cappy. Monday Night Football. Tonight on Monday Night Football, you can root for the Bengals, led by Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Bart Simpson. Or you can cheer on the Cowboys, led by Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, Trevon Diggs, and Homer Simpson. Ay, caramba! The Simpsons Fun Day Football will be a true family affair and streams tonight on Disney Plus and ESPN Plus. It's a real-time animated Monday Night Football game featuring the Bengals and Cowboys in the iconic Simpsons cartoon world. Each Bengals and Cowboys player will appear as an animated player for this special primetime matchup. Fans enjoying the Simpsons Fun Day Football will see every snap, run, pass, score, and more from the real-life Bengals and Cowboys matchup at AT&T Stadium as it happens. Plus, Stephen A. Smith, Peyton, and Eli Manning will appear on the telecast as well. Our friends Drew Carter, Mina Kimes, and Dan Orlovsky will be on the call. The game also features dozens of Simpson iconic characters like Lisa, Krusty, Moe, and more. So Simpsons Fun Day Football will stream tonight on Disney Plus and ESPN Plus and on your mobile device. Okay, check it out on NFL Plus as well, starting at 5 p.m. Pacific. So 10 minutes. I know we've talked about it a lot today, but in 10 minutes it's going to kick off. Make sure you check it out on Disney Plus or on ESPN Plus or on NFL Plus. Grab your kids, your family, your friends. Make this a game you can all enjoy together.
Now let's go back, man, to like the Candyman can, babe. Okay, I'm quelling
I knew you
right
were going to
now.
let that
okay,
rest.
I mean, come on, man. Like the Candyman is playing, and we're talking
man.
about the Simpsons, babe. I mean, come on.
By the
man.
way, I do believe Sammy Davis Jr. was a Simpsons character at one point.
Of course he was.
Oh, really? Oh, that's right, babe. Okay. I mean, I've got some spilkish going right now, babe. Okay. I mean, man, oh
his
man,
birthday.
you're gonna give me some Sammy Davis and not give me a chance to do my like half-ass Sammy Davis Jr. impression? Come on, man.
I'm trying to see when he did appear. I have it here. There's like
Who
a
can make
Simpsons
the sun shine?
Wikipedia.
I told DeAndre's like, what's a good Sammy Davis Jr. song? I was like, oh, you got to play the Candyman. He's playing the beginning where he's like, hey, kids,
Yeah,
I got the candy.
The Candyman can, babe.
Wow. So Sammy Davis Jr. appeared in 5 Simpsons episodes.
That's right, man. That's right, babe. Hey, Bart, you're great, babe. Okay.
Yeah.
Love Sammy Davis Jr.
By the way, they have I have Disney Plus on, and they have a countdown to the Fun Day Football with the Simpsons, and they're doing Simpsons trivia.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Dude, the
I
Simpsons
don't know any of these questions.
I mean, they're the longest running animated show, so I mean, they've got an incredible following. Like,
And I've told you guys, I swear to
You've
God,
never watched one episode. with
not
me. Yes, I
one
know.
episode. Wait a second. Hold
I
on.
get
From
it.
the guy who says over and over again, fan is short for fanatics.
I mean,
From
I
the
get it.
same guy who says over and over again, two things can be true at once.
I
For
get
the
it.
same guy who says over and over again, wait a second, the future indicator of injury is past it.
Right.
Wait a second. Come on, babe.
But
Come on, man.
Those are all indicative of a conversation we're having about sports.
Right.
You telling us about the Simpsons.
Right.
You've
Never
seen
seen
a
it,
Simpsons
babe.
episode for the 6,000th time.
Not even with Shammy, babe.
Yeah, you should have.
Not even with Shammy.
There was 5 episodes you could have
Missed
seen.
them all, babe.
Cap, if it makes you feel any better, I think I've maybe seen like 2 full episodes.
Well, but that's
of
because
The
your
Simpsons
parents didn't
ever.
let you.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to watch it. It was considered, I guess, like I said, violent, crude, whatever you want to call it. I was banned from watching The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Wow. So, George, you mentioned that we were going to get to the college football playoff. And I got to say, man, I got to say, babe. I got to say, man,
How do you
I
not do that?
freaking love the college football playoff. I love that teams that you would never expect to crash the party have absolutely crashed the party.
Well, there's no doubt about that, and I think that was kind of the hope, right? You'd have a group of 5. You've had some surprises. Arizona State winning the Big 12. I don't think anyone saw that coming necessarily. They were picked last. SMU was not picked last. They were picked in like the top 5 or 6 of the ACC, but certainly not in a position to win it. Clemson kind of came back from nowhere. They were obviously considered one of the top teams going into the season, but they had their struggles at times. And Dabo's got them, playing well at the right time. You know what I mean? Like they've looked really good down the stretch. So you've got those teams.
Well, don't forget Indiana also, because I remember early in the season when UCLA lost to Indiana, I was like, oh, man,
what a
UCLA.
terrible loss. Right. Yeah.
But it turns out Indiana had this incredible season. And by the way,
They did.
Wouldn't it be amazing when you talk about an interstate rivalry between Indiana and Notre Dame?
Right.
Wouldn't it be awesome to see
I hope
Indiana
Indiana
smack down
beats
Notre
them.
Dame?
Yeah, it would
so
be
do
great. It would
Right.
be great.
What I really want is I want Indiana to beat Notre Dame. I want SMU to beat Penn State. I don't care who wins in Tennessee, Ohio State. And I don't really care about who wins in Clemson, Texas, but I want to see then Boise State advance, and Arizona State advance, et cetera.
What I also like is and it's funny because the SEC is doing a lot of, politicking, let's call it, about strength of schedule. But here's the thing. Strength of schedule in college football is based all on subjectivity. It's based on what we think are 5-star players on a roster or this, that, and the other. And yes, for I know it's hard to deprogram people's minds for 20 years where the SEC has been the toughest conference. And, the top half, I would say, or actually less than that, like the top third of the Big Ten has been the best. And they've proven that over time. But the NIL situation and the portal situation has leveled the playing field. We've been talking about this for years. You're starting to see it more and more. Kids are jumping where they can play. Kids are jumping for more money.
Right.
It becomes more of a free agency in for one reason or another. It could be money. It could be playing time. It could be both. But that's kind of my point, is that I said this a long time ago. I remember we had this discussion. I'll never forget where we were when this stuff came down. I was sitting I was going to do a game in Miami, and we were at the Mandarin Oriental. I was at the Mandarin Oriental doing the show. And you were saying you didn't think that it would be, you just, like at the time, I think as Saban was still there, you didn't think that Bama would get hurt. Because we were talking about Saban kind of like bemoaning NIL and the portal. And I'm like, oh, he's going to be the one hit the hardest. Because they can no longer just keep all these guys like they were accustomed to doing. So much so that he left and now he joined the company here. So I do think that Alabama not making it shows an inflection point of, yeah, you can talk about strength of schedule all you want, but that's not really objective. That is subjective based on where we thought, based on the quote-unquote talent you have. But we're trying to analyze players, Cappy, in college football. When they're getting recruited, is there a 5-star this, 5-star that? Dude, you know this as well as anyone. In the NFL, the hit rate in the first round is 50%.
Yeah, right.
And it goes less and less beyond that. So if we're doing that with 22-year-old kids or men, what the hell you think you're doing with 17 and 18-year-olds?
Right, exactly. I know. Listen, I this is why, though, to me, this year and this first ever 12-team field in the college football playoff is so exciting. Because there's so much complaining and griping. Remember last year at this time when it was only a 4-team playoff?
Well, people were pissed about Florida State.
Right, and that's all that people were pissed about was Florida State. How could they be undefeated? How could they be in a power conference just because they lose their quarterback? It doesn't seem fair.
By the way, Georgia may lose their quarterback. Carson Beck could be out.
That's right. And I thought last year that Georgia belonged in the top 4, but that's neither here nor there. The bottom line is this, though. Teams like Indiana, who've traditionally always been trash, they made it. Teams like Arizona State, for most people, I know for me certainly, very under the radar this year as they went from the Pac-12, where they'd never really been very good, and then they get to the Big 12, and you're like, how did that happen? And then to have a team like Boise State, and this is everybody's big gripe now, right, is that Boise State gets a bye, and should SMU beat Penn State, which I don't think will happen.
Well, Penn State's got, in theory, the eeasiest route.
Correct, and that's what people are pissed about.
And I think what they'll learn from this year is after that you need to reseed.
100%. Yeah. Absolutely right. Yeah. No doubt about it. Because Oregon, who's the number 1 team and the only undefeated team.
They're going to have to play either Ohio State or Tennessee.
And they've already beaten Ohio State, but so what? Doesn't mean they're going to beat them again.
Right.
And Tennessee, listen.
A good team.
A good team from the conference that has traditionally been considered the best conference in college football. But I love Arizona State, Boise State, Indiana, SMU. I mean, the fact that these teams came from out of nowhere and have a chance to wreck the party is exciting. It's exciting, babe. I'm actually kind of thinking about going to the Fiesta Bowl to see Boise State take on either SMU or Penn State. I love it, man. This is awesome. And by the way, big man on campus. Every week we pick our big man on campus for our best performance of college football this past weekend.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with a shout-out right here for you, George.
Out.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
My big man on campus this week is a guy by the name of Nolan Hauser. Now, hold on. You probably know who Nolan Hauser is because if you play in the ACC, I know you, bro. But Lindsay and DeAndre, do you guys know who Nolan Hauser is?
Oh, I think you're asking me. Go.
Yeah.
No, I know who he is. Yeah.
You guys know who he is?
I don't know him, bro.
I don't know him either.
Let me tell you, bros, something.
Here, I'll give you a hint. 56.
That does nothing for me.
All right, here it goes. You ready? This kid is an 18-year-old true freshman. He's the kicker at Clemson.
Yeah.
And before he kicked that game-winning 56-yard walk-off field goal, did you see what he did before that, George?
I was at a bar, so I was only half paying attention to it until he kicked it.
He's on the field. He looks over at the sideline. He winks at the sideline as if to say, hey, no problem. I got this. This is a kid who missed a 44-yard field goal earlier in the game and bombs away a 56-yarder to win the game to walk off Clemson. Nolan Hauser, you are my big man on campus, my brother.
So I'm going to go, Cappy, with Ashton Genty, another 200-yard performance. He's a finalist at the Heisman. He'll be there in New York. I'm going to go with Ashton Genty. And then on my Sunday statements.
Ooh.
I
big
got to be
sigh.
honest.
Yeah?
I picked against the Rams, and I was wrong. It was the first time I picked against them all year, and they shoved it right up my okay? So the Rams, my Sunday statement.
You want to know who my Sunday statement is?
Who?
So the Minnesota Vikings yesterday cruised no problem over the Atlanta
Sam
Falcons.
Darnold, MVP candidate.
But hold on. Did you see when the kid had the interception return for a touchdown, and then the two Vikings defensive players did the white chicks dance? Please tell me you saw this.
I did, yes.
Did you see this?
Yes.
DeAndre, don't laugh. You ain't know nothing about no white chicks.
Oh, come on now.
Man, come on. You ain't seen that movie.
I have. Trust me.
When those two kids, and I wish I could say the one kid's name, I don't know how to pronounce it. Metellus? Is that how you pronounce Josh
Yes,
Metellus?
Metellus, yes.
And then the other guy, Cameron Bynum. When they did the white chicks dance in the end zone, I freaking lost it. It was beautiful. Those guys made a Sunday statement with the white chicks dance.
You should do that dance, Cap.
Oh, I rock that dance. In fact, DeAndre, you and I should do that dance together.
We should.
I'll flip you right around.
Let's do it.
All right, Cappy. We can get more to you and DeAndre dancing in a second, but we got to take a break here. We're well over the break at this point.
Come on, man.
We got a break, bro. I don't know if you
Break?
realize this. There are
Break
breaks.
us, bro.
Anda.
Come on, man. Break.
Andale.
Break dance. In the Olympics.
It's no longer a thing. I don't know if you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they took
That's
it
too
out
bad.
already. Yeah.
Tell us about Jacob and Ronnie.
I will tell you. You know what? You get into an accident, Cappy. Holiday season, people are driving like maniacs. I almost got into 2 accidents today. One on PCH and one of them on the 110. I'm like, yo, are people actually paying attention? Like, what the hell's going on? And if I did get into an accident, the guy I'm calling is Jacob right away. 844-24-JACOB. Tell him Sedano, Mason, and the crew at 710 sent you. Look, if you were driving to a friend's house this past weekend to watch a game, got injured, not your fault. You got to call Jacob. 844-24-JACOB. Jacob and his team offer a free consultation. So you got nothing to lose by calling Jacob and explaining your situation at 844-24-JACOB. And make sure when you call him, tell him Sedano, Mason, and the crew at 710 sent you. Jacob begins working with you. If he begins working with you, you can move on with your life. Jacob and his team will find you the doctor, okay, that you need to help you with your injury. All right? Jacob will take care of the car and the body shop, the rental car, all that stuff. Jacob and his team are here, and they're ready to help you get you back on your feet and get you the compensation you deserve. If you prefer to meet face-to-face, Jacob and his team would come to you. You can go to Jacob's office. He's got one right here, right down the street from us. So if you're injured in any kind of accident, slip or fall, personal injury, only one name to remember. It's Jacob, Jacob, Jacob. So call him at 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB, 844-24-JACOB. Or visit him online at calljacob.com.
Your Los Angeles Rams are back home on Saturday, December 28th or Sunday, December 29th as they seek revenge on division rivals, the Arizona Cardinals. Bring all the energy to SoFi as Matthew Stafford and the Rams go head-to-head against Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. Grab your tickets today at therams.com/AZ, therams.com/AZ to watch your Rams battle the Cardinals on Saturday, December 28th or Sunday, December 29th at SoFi Stadium. See you at the Rams house.
Hey, it's Travis here for Prize Picks. Did you know that Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action? Why not join over 10 million users right now and sign up today? Because you can win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. You just pick more or pick less. It really is that easy. For instance, Justin Jefferson, more than 83.5 yards next week. What do you think? More or less? Lamar Jackson, more or less?
ESPN LA and Beverly Hills Ortho are teaming up because we want to know who's smiling in SoCal. Go to ESPNLA.com and nominate who you think is making LA a better place. Could be a mentor, a teacher, a coach, a good Samaritan, or you could nominate yourself. You could win prizes like sweet tickets, Sonic Care electric toothbrushes, whitening treatment, or the grand prize, Invisalign. Enter now at ESPNLA.com, and remember, you're always smiling at Beverly Hills Ortho.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. At Los Angeles International Airport, changes are arriving daily to help reduce traffic, save travelers time, and transform the travel experience. The LAX Economy parking structure is now open with thousands of smart parking spaces, as well as hundreds of EV charging stations. Modernized terminals have biometric gates for faster boarding, and in the future, the People Mover train will connect travelers to LA Metro. For more information, go to their website,
FlyLAX.com/transformingLAX. That's FlyLAX.com/transformingLAX.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
710 ESPN.
KSPN, Los Angeles.
A Good Karma Brands radio station. This is the city, Los Angeles, California. It's 5 p.m. in the Southland. Turn it up, man. Time to blow that 5 o'clock whistle with Sedano and Cappy.
That's right, it's the 5 o'clock hour on Sedano and Cap. And it's time for 30 minutes non-stop.
Sedano and Cap on 710 ESPN.
With fun and frivolity, tomfoolery and hijinks, and Cappy doing his thing. Thanks to our friends at Real Father's Rights. Real Father's Rights, the father's rights attorney. Visit realfathersrights.com or call 951-482-7517. Let's do it, 5 o'clock in the Southland.
30 minutes of non-stop Sedano and Cap starts now.
You ready for this? And time for the Real Father's Rights 5 o'clock hour on 710 ESPN.
Yeah.
Let's do it, Jack.
Bean, ba-da-ba. Do-da-da-da. Man, I'm hungry.
Me too. You know what, George? It always amazes me that when it seems like every NFL football game, when they go to a commercial break, there is a time in that broadcast.
Yeah, where they play this song, Eminence Front.
And then once they play the song, then the Circle of Trust immediately goes to Twitter, tags you and me, and says, yo, did you guys just hear they just played your song?
Yeah.
Sometimes a song gets in your head and you associate it with something, and you'll always have it that way.
Right.
So when people hear this song, no one thinks Pete Townsend.
Right.
No one thinks Roger Daltrey.
Right.
No one thinks The Who.
Yeah.
They think Sedano and Cap.
Yeah, for sure.
Turn it up, man. Come on, man. Yeah. Don't think I bop. Do 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 do. Bop pick it up, pick it up, pick it doom. Do boom. Yeah.
Ay, Cappy. Cappy, let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
We talked about Juan Soto and how the Mets are clearly coming after the Dodgers, right? Like they are a legit threat. The National League is pretty stacked when you think about it, right? Atlanta's going to be back next year. They'll have Acuna back. The Phillies are really good. That division is in itself is pretty good. Obviously, the Padres will be in the mix. I'm curious to see if any of the teams out of the Central, like the Cubs, are slowly creeping up. They've got a ways to go still. I'm curious to see if they do anything in free agency.
Yeah, Milwaukee was good
Milwaukee
this year.
was very good. They've been very good. You know, what's funny is that the Mets GM now was the previous GM in Milwaukee. And the total number of contracts he signed in his, I think it was 6 or 7 year stretch in Milwaukee was $800 million. So he signed one guy and almost equaled that as the GM of the Mets.
Well, you know, isn't that interesting how, like, you take a guy like Andrew Friedman, right?
Yeah.
Andrew Friedman, when he was in Tampa.
Oh, my God, it was a shoestring budget.
That was a guy who every year looked at his payroll and was like, okay, with $35 million, what could I possibly do to make this team a contender? And he did. He did a really
got him
good
to
job.
the World Series.
Right. He did a really good job. Then all of a sudden he shows up at the Dodgers and he looks and he's got not a bank account. Dude's got a vault.
A trust fund.
Right. He got a full vault of cash, $1 billion in cash. More. Go ahead and spend it. Listen, you've already shown everybody what you can do with no budget. Now let's see what you can do with a real budget. And you've seen what Andrew Friedman has done. And I think that similar with the New York Mets, I don't even know the guy's name who's the general manager of the Mets now, who you said came from Milwaukee.
What is his name?
But to have limited resources in the small market to then go to the big market where your owner is a multi-billionaire and he wants to win. I mean, this Steve Cohen is to baseball, I would say in many ways what Steve Ballmer is to basketball. He's the owner of what you would call the secondary team. David Stearns, thank you. He's the owner of the secondary team in the market, but he's far and away the richer, it would seem.
Yes.
I'm just making the comparison between the Clippers and the Lakers.
Yeah.
And he will spend whatever it takes in an effort to win. And so from that perspective, I can appreciate where he's coming from. I don't know if you read these stories, George, but Cohen has a $35 million mansion that he bought several years ago in Beverly Hills. The house is probably today worth $75 or $80 million. and he did all of the entertaining for Juan Soto, Scott Boras, and Soto's family. He did all of his entertaining
here
yes. in L.A.
Yeah.
Whereas all the other teams that were negotiating with Soto, they all met at Boras's house. So Cohen clearly had this idea of, I want to welcome you in. I want you to bring whoever's mom, dad, wife, chef, I don't care who it is, bring them to my house so that I can make a presentation on my home court. And clearly in the end, it really just came down to who paid him more. You know, if the Yankees offered $765 and the Mets offered $765.01, he was going to the Mets.
Yeah. Now the question is, what are the Dodgers going to do moving forward? They've already signed Snell. They signed Michael Conforto. They've signed Blake Trinan back. By the way, the Conforto thing is interesting because it doesn't preclude them from signing Teoscar Hernandez because they're going to need another outfielder still. But it feels like, according to reports, that they are far apart on what they want.
It does, and it does feel like he was brought to the Dodgers to replace Teoscar Hernandez under the assumption that he was going to leave.
Yes. So that is probably the case, though, although not guaranteed, but probably the case. So, and look, Michael Conforto is a pretty good player. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's I'm trying to think. He had like about 20 home runs last year. I'm looking up the numbers now. So, yeah, 20 on the nose, actually. Like, he's a solid player. Like, he is not an all-world player, but he's a guy that you could put in the outfield, and he's going to play a lot of games, going to play 120, 125 games. Like, he is a rotational outfield type player. He's not as good as Teoscar Hernandez. So now it doesn't mean he can't have a singular season as good as him. He hasn't been in a lineup this good either, so there's that. But, yeah, like he is on the surface not as good as Teoscar Hernandez.
But, you know, you just said that the Mets now want to play in the Dodgers league, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
The Mets are willing to spend whatever it takes.
They're competing right now for Roki Sasaki, the Japanese pitcher who's already been posted. Officially, he posted the pitcher from the Chibalote Marines of the Japanese Nippon Professional Baseball League. So basically, they've got a 45-day window, Cappy, where teams can negotiate. They got a post, right? So basically, it's like an application fee is what I would call it, right? And then they, if they get the guy, then that's the money. They get that money. The Japanese team gets that money, and then they negotiate a deal with Sasaki, and Sasaki can then go to the American team at that point in Major League Baseball.
I mean, I still am under the assumption that Sasaki ultimately ends up with the Dodgers.
Sure, because you already got Yamamoto here, you got Ohtani here. You're building a team of the Japanese All-Stars, basically, in a lot of ways, beyond the players you already have.
I know some people have tried to convince me that Sasaki will go to San Diego because of the relationship with Yu Darvish, and I'm like, guys, forget it. That is not
Although
happening.
Yu Darvish was like the guy, you know what I'm saying, for many years, like the Japanese guy that guys looked up to. You know what I mean?
Big time.
Yeah.
But I just, listen, here's the thing about the Mets. The Mets have, in my opinion, and I lived in New York City for a little while. And, just a little bit. And I was there. I can remember being in New York City when the Yankees played the Mets in the World Series.
Yeah.
And just how the Yankees are the primary and the Mets are the secondary. I still compare it to the Lakers and the Clippers because it's a primary-secondary thing. But I'll just say this. The Mets have to compete for market share in New York, kind of like the Mets are the Chargers, and the Yankees are the Rams. The Rams were in L.A. The Rams were L.A. The Rams came back first. The Rams built this world-class stadium. The Rams won a Super Bowl in L.A., et cetera, et cetera. And the Chargers are still fighting for market share. The Mets have been at it for a long time, since the 60s.
Yeah.
But still, it's the Yankees' town. Doesn't mean the Mets don't have their own separate fan base. So do the Clippers.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But so they're competing, the Mets, with the Yankees and the Dodgers and Braves and Phillies.
Right.
Here's all I'm going to say. You can tell me all the numbers you want to.
I hope it's not all you're going to say, because we still have like 46 minutes left in the show.
Here's what I'm going to say about Juan Soto.
Oh.
I don't buy it.
What do you mean you don't buy it?
You can tell me all the numbers you want to, and he's a great hitter. He ain't a great outfielder. He ain't a great base runner. And you just spent $765 million over 15 years. Do you honestly believe he's going to play all 15 years? Oh, and by the way, there's this 5-year buyout or opt-out.
He has a one-way opt-out.
Yeah, where he can get out. Yeah. And listen, if he puts up these kind of numbers for the next 5 years, he'll opt out and he'll go get more money.
Right. Smart.
I just don't buy it.
You're so sour on him. He's good, man.
So wait, how old will he be if he fulfills his contract? How old?
41. If he goes, 41 if he goes the whole way.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, Miguel Cabrera did it. And everyone was like,
look, I think that all these contracts. This is not Albert Pujols, though. This is not Albert Pujols signing nearly in his mid-30s or whatever it was to a 10-year deal at that time. This is a guy who just turned 26 2 months ago. So, like, he is. He's going to be in his prime for a long stretch of time here. Maybe the last 4 or 5 years won't look as great, but that's kind of the way these contracts have been structured kind of in general in Major League Baseball. The Pujols one being the most egregious of them all because he was already kind of old at that point.
Yeah, and that was a big, giant disaster for the Angels. But listen, I watched him every day for 162 games.
Yep.
And in the end of it, I was like, okay, numbers look good. I just in the outfield, he's not a great defensive
but it
player.
Doesn't matter. He hits the ball, man. That's what the sport is. It's about hitting the ball.
Yeah, but in his case, he plays every day out in the outfield, and he's just not that good. I don't know how that guy ever won a Gold Glove. I really don't. So, and I guess I don't know why. I don't know why this bothers me the way it does. But like he was so forthright in his
so what
in his
that's
willingness.
actually good.
Yeah, I'm saying it is. Like I don't know why it bothered me. He actually was open and honest. Like whoever pays me the most, that's where I'm going. And again, for me, if I were in his shoes, I would have taken the deal with the Yankees for a couple bucks less than go to the Mets for a couple bucks more. I'd rather play for the primary team for a couple bucks less than the secondary team for a couple bucks more.
Yeah.
How about you?
I don't know.
Highest paid? I mean, just whoever pays you the most?
Well, no. I've clearly could have. If that were my thinking, I wouldn't necessarily be in the position I'm in now.
What position would you be in?
I don't know, but I've had other opportunities to do other things for more money, and I've chosen not to do those things.
Well, it's a great point. Like, would you say, hey, look, I'll take a couple bucks less to be with ESPN versus a couple bucks more to go be with Fox?
Well, I wouldn't want to pit anyone against anyone, but I'm just saying, like, there've been opportunities in my career at different points where I could have chosen a different path, and I chose to go the direction I've been in, and I've been pretty happy about it, even though it may not have been the most lucrative opportunity at that particular moment.
Well, all right. Let me say this really quick. Speaking of lucrative opportunities, let me give you one. Okay?
Yeah, because Kirk is ready to join us, and we're like late because we're always late. Are you always late for everything?
I try to be 5 minutes early at least for everything.
You're like a Tom Coughlin?
Well, I believe a good leader always is 5 minutes early.
Yeah, but you're never 5 minutes early here.
No, I think that's because you talk too much.
Oh, I talk too much.
Yes, I believe that you're the culprit. That's what I believe.
Yeah. I bet you if we did like a time of possession clock here,
yeah,
it would definitely favor Kaplan.
I don't know, man. I'm going to go. Let's start doing that. Let's do
it. We should. We absolutely should. I bet you my ass it would be you by a landslide.
All right. Well,
and that's me bringing in and out of breaks, and it still would be you.
All right, let me do this. You ready? Let me have a couple of seconds here. Let me talk to everybody about the Subaru annual Share the Love event. It's our 17th year. Last year, I was telling you, I was bragging to you, man. $250 million we've raised for all these great national charities and local charities. This year, we aim to reach $320 million in donations. Ocean Subaru of Fullerton is working with the Women's Club of Fullerton. That is our local charity of choice this year. Now, look, when you buy or lease a brand new Subaru, $250 gets donated to either your national partners, which is ASPCA, Make-A-Wish, Meals on Wheels, or the National Park Foundation. Or you can say to Omar, who's the general manager down at Ocean Subaru, you go, no, I want to keep that money local, and that money's going to go to the Women's Club of Fullerton. So listen, I'm driving a Subaru Crosstrek right now. I absolutely love this vehicle. What did you expect me to say? But I'm telling you, I've had this thing for a month. I love it. It's fantastic. Ocean Subaru is conveniently located at 1100 South Euclid in Fullerton, just off the 91 freeway. Go to oceansubaruoc.com. That's oceansubaruoc.com. Ocean Subaru of Fullerton. They make you smile at every mile. And now, Kirk Morrison. George.
Yeah, now, because we're 4 minutes late for the man. Let me ask you a question, Kirk Morrison. How much would you have been fined if you were 4 minutes late during your playing days?
Oh man, you gotta think that's conduct detrimental. So that's at least 5 bands, 5,000.
5 bands, Cappy.
So,
bands will make her
so that's
dance,
5,000.
Cappy. Bands will make her dance.
So you know what the worst thing is when somebody is like, they had like you just knew that they got after it the night before, and so they would miss. And I've had guys who would do this. They miss the special teams meeting. Okay, that's one. Then after special teams is the team meeting. So that's 2. Then after the team meeting, there's your offense, defense, because you break up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Offense, defense, special teams, you're going to your different rooms.
Mm-hmm.
That's the 3rd meeting. I've had guys do the trifecta. So you just add it up, because each meeting that you miss is 5,000, late or missed. Doesn't matter. It's 5,000 regardless. So think about if you have a trifecta.
Mm-hmm.
We used to say, like, man, like, guess who's playing for free this week, y'all? Guess who's playing for free this week, y'all? Because that's 15,000 gone. I just shake my head in disgust. Like, was it worth it? But,
I'd never be late. Never.
like
I would never be late. I'd never be overweight. I would never, ever, ever give up a penny, no chance, no how, if I were an NFL
what about
player.
this one, though, Cappy? I got another story for you. So, player will remain nameless, but we're on the flight. We're playing the Miami Dolphins for the weekend, right? Can't wait to go to Miami, right? So we get in on a Friday, and then buddy on the team kept asking, "Hey, are you guys coming to my party tonight?" I said, "We may stop by for a little bit, but curfew is at 11, so we got to be back." He was like, "Well, I'm not going to curfew, so I already know that." I'm like, Wait, why are you not going to curfew? He's like, I'm just not going to curfew because I'm hosting a party. I said, well, you're going to get fined. He was like, no, they're paying me $30,000 to host a party tonight. If I skip curfew, that's a $10,000 fine. I'm still making 20. So like I said, I'm going to the party. He went to the party. He missed curfew. He told everybody, told the coaches everything. And I'm like, there's no way this dude starts. He starts on Sunday, throws for like 3 touchdowns, balls out, and I was just like, you know what? All right, that's just what it is. So some people just embrace the fine, and I probably already kind of told on myself.
Yeah, who was it? What quarterback was it? Tell us who it was. Come on, you already said he threw for 3 touchdowns.
Already told on myself.
I mean, I'll look it up. I'll look it up. It's easy to find.
I'll let the
Raiders.
Raiders.
No, he could have been in Buffalo. He could have been in Buffalo. Could have been in Jacksonville.
Could have been. See, good job.
Could have been.
There,
but I'm thinking,
George.
who were the Buffalo Bills quarterback? Hey, Kirk, when you were playing for the Bills, who were the quarterbacks you were playing with?
I played with Fitzy. Fitzy was my guy. Ryan Fitzpatrick, Fitzmagic. So
okay, so that's one guy. He wouldn't do that. He would never do that.
So you go about the process of elimination, right? Like Ryan Fitzpatrick throwing a party in Miami.
No, that was not happening. No chance. No way. Who were your quarterbacks with the Raiders? Jamarcus Russell. Who else?
Oh, I got the guy.
Who is it, George?
You already got it. I already know, George. You already got it.
Who is I got the guy.
Detective
Let me hear. Give me a hint.
Sedano, the sleuth.
Give me a hint, George.
Hold on. I want to double check to see the schedule this year. Hold on.
This year or that year?
No, the year that I'm talking about. Oh, no, wait. Yeah. It may not have been him. Because you didn't play Miami this year. Hold on.
No, it's not. Yeah, I know what year you're talking about, George. It's all good, man.
Hold on. I'll look it up. I'll look it up. Oh, come on. I know who it is.
Who is it?
Dante Culpepper.
Dante Culpepper.
Yeah.
Where was he playing? Where did you play with him?
In Oakland.
He was actually the quarterback that started the season. He was supposed to be the bridge quarterback for Jamarcus Russell.
God, I don't even remember Dante Culpepper playing with the Raiders.
Yeah, he went to the Raiders. Okay, not only did he ball out, but he left. This was after Nick Saban was with the Dolphins.
After Nick Saban was with the Dolphins. Nick Saban didn't want him.
Right. Yeah. If you remember, Nick. So this is a funny story. Like if you know,
it's a great story.
The NFL.
Great story.
So Nick Saban goes to the Dolphins, right? Which he said on Pat McAfee the other day, he had a case of the dumbasses because they didn't have a good cap situation, they didn't have a quarterback, etc. So his first year they overachieved. They go 9-7 with Gus Frerotte as their quarterback.
Okay, got that. Yep.
Year 2. He can decide between a free agent Drew Brees, right,
who was hurt
in San Diego, right, who had the shoulder injury, or Dante Culpepper coming off a knee injury.
Yep.
The doctor for the Dolphins at that time for many, many years was Dr. Dan Cannell, father of Danny Cannell, who
Right.
played in the
Right.
NFL,
Yep.
Florida State, worked
Correct.
at ESPN, now works at CBS Sports. Okay? Played college football at a very high level at Florida State, and then obviously in the NFL. So Dan Cannell tells Nick Saban that Dante
Don't do it.
Culpepper will have a better chance of recovering from his knee injury than Drew Brees from his shoulder injury.
Yes.
So Nick Saban, who wanted Drew Brees, ends up with Dante Culpepper. Season is a disaster. Him and Dante clash from the beginning. Dante, I'll never forget, walked out of practice one time. Nick basically jettisons him, and then Nick goes to Alabama. So they get rid of Culpepper. Culpepper comes back to Kirk's story, goes to Miami, hosts a party, and then goes out there, balls out, has the 3 touchdowns, and on the last one is running to celebrate with his receiver and is pointing at his knee while he's doing that.
Beautiful.
Saying my knee is A-okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, time of possession is just now shifted over to Sedano, just so you know.
Well,
time of possession is now in Sedano's favor.
Considering you're like the Bill Parcells Giants with Otis Anderson, I needed something. You know
Well,
what I mean?
let me give you guys my late story. You ready? So, Kirk, you'll love this. So, my buddy Van Pelt is playing.
Yep.
He's a backup quarterback for the
Alex,
Buffalo Bills.
not
right.
Scott.
Right.
Yep.
And that's right. And Jim Kelly's the starting quarterback of the Bills. And the Bills are playing the Miami Dolphins. And they call me on the way and they go, "Listen, here's what we need you to do." I go, "What?" They're like, "We need you to drive to the airport to pick us up from the airport." I'm like, "Aren't you guys getting on the team buses?" They're like, "Yeah, here's what's going to happen. You drive to the back of the airport. The team buses are going to drive through. You're going to get on team bus 3. And then me and Jim Kelly are going to get on team bus 3. We're going to pull out of the airport. We're going to get into your car, and we're going to go to a party." Dude, they got into my Ford Thunderbird from 1985, dude.
Yes.
We went to a party. Kelly's hosting this party. We're drinking. We're eating like animals. And at 10 minutes till the team meeting, Kelly's like, "Let's go. We got to get out of here." So we made it to the team meeting on time for Kelly and Van Pelt. They weren't going to be late. They weren't going to be paying fines. But, man, as soon as they got off that plane, they were ready to party. So,
they were ready. They were active.
Yep, they were ready to go.
This is the great days before social media.
Oh, yeah.
God, miss
That's
those
right.
days.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
All memories now. All
Kirk,
memories.
The Rams
What's
made
up?
some memories yesterday. That's the best game. Cappy and I talked about it since that Chiefs game back in the day. Best game of the season, perhaps, even this particular year.
It was the best game in the Matthew Stafford era. 59 games Matthew Stafford has started as a quarterback for the Rams. They had never scored 44 points, fellas. So,
Wow.
yes, it was a career day for Matthew Stafford and the Rams. They were just a team on a mission, and I thought it was great seeing Puka Nacua. He's a superstar. Been listening to it all day long. Everybody, I thought Puka raised his game yesterday to, he's Puka. There's Mookie, there's Freddie, you know what I mean? There's LeBron, AD, Puka is a name in Los Angeles now, and I thought he was on full display. Stafford, we know what that is, but what a game for the Rams. My only thing now is, can you back it up? That was a huge win over an opponent like Buffalo, but now you got those stinking 49ers, man.
Yeah,
who
on a
are
short week.
Depleted, on a short week, depleted. They had their, slump buster with the Chicago Bears on Sunday. I know, George, you saw how bad the game was. I know you were calling the game, and it was I think what somebody said, if you walked from your couch to your refrigerator, you had more yards than the Bears had in the first half.
Yeah. Well, they only had 2 yards in the first half. It was pathetic.
Right. So I was like, wow, that is very interesting. But the Rams, look, it's still a rivalry game. It's still Niners-Rams. And we know the history between these two. We know how Shanahan has owned McVay, even though the Rams got the first one down at SoFi. But it's going to be a fun game. And obviously, the Rams need it. This is one of those games, if they want to stay in contention for this NFC West title, they got to win this one.
Right, but so do the 49ers. And just listen, let's project out the final 4 games. The Rams play at the 49ers,
Correct.
at the Jets, and the last 2 games, home against the Cardinals and home against the Seahawks. This is one of those times where you say, your destiny is in your own hands. All they got to do is just win all 4 games. That's it.
Correct. You sound like what everybody was talking about with Alabama, right, with the college football playoff. If Alabama would have won their 4 games instead of getting beat up by Oklahoma, they would be in the college football playoff, and yet they didn't do it, so they can't cry about getting in the playoffs. That being said, it's up to the Rams. You mentioned it. 4 games left. They win those 4 games. they deserve to be in the playoffs, and they will be in the playoffs, in my opinion. But, it's still one of those situations where I felt like we never saw the best version of the Rams. When we were, talking back in September and October, they were 1-4, and we're like, man, this is this is going to be a rough year. They got healthy at the right time.
Right.
They've been 6-2 since that 1-4 start. Just put that in perspective.
Yep.
6-2, they're healthy, and you're arguably saying they're playing their best football at the right time.
Yeah. And one of the other things that George and I have been talking about today, Kirk, is the Chargers and the Chiefs. And look, hey,
again, let's just be patient, George.
Yeah.
Me and Cappy told you.
Dog, they got a 91% chance of making the playoffs.
Like I said, you don't know this. You ain't been around this like me and Cappy.
Okay.
Like, we've seen the percentages. We know what it looks like. And then in about 3 to 4 weeks, George, we're going to look at you and say, this is what happens. This is just who they are. They can't get away from the stink. The stink is on them. No matter how much cologne you put on it, no matter how many, seeds that you plant, the worm hasn't turned. It's still in the ground.
I like that saying.
Well, I just, for me, listen, I give them credit last night. You're down 13-0. You're on the road.
Yeah.
You're playing against the two-time defending Super Bowl champions. You haven't had any success against them. They come storming back. They take that 14-13 lead. But when they took the 17-16 lead and Kansas City got the ball back with 4 and change to go, Kansas City knew they were going till the last second. They were not giving the ball back. Mahomes made plays, whether it was running or having to just, think on his feet with passing, and they just were not going to give the ball back to the Chargers. And so I don't even know, if Kansas City's as good as I think they are. Their record says they're great, but they just barely win every week.
Cappy, one of the great memes, and I wish I'll find it for you. I'll send it to you and George. But when the Kansas City Chiefs got that ball back down 17-16, were we surprised? We were not. Like, the meme is of I believe it was a coach. It was actually Brandon Staley post-game one time. And he's talking to the players, and he says, hey, is anybody surprised? Nope, not me. That's what I was thinking in my head. The Chargers are going to lose, and we're going to all look at each other and say, is anybody surprised? But nope, not me. I wasn't surprised. You knew when the Chiefs got that ball late in the game, and Patrick Mahomes was going to drive down, and it was just about how were they going to win. Not if they'll win, but how. And how did it – like, when you kick the ball off the upright and it goes in, like, it's just not only is the Chiefs magic, but it's also part of what the Chargers have been through over and over and over. That's just what it is, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give them credit. They're a better coach team. They've won games against teams that they might have lost to last year. They are a better coach, to be sure. But I'm still going to be rooting.
Oh my God!
For them
it's
to fall
like
apart.
you guys. It's okay. Well, give it. How many more weeks are there?
There are 4 more weeks.
Okay,
4 weeks.
10 wins.
Just be patient.
Still going to happen.
Let's just be patient.
George, if you weren't such a lover versus my hater, we might not be having this conversation right now.
Yeah, well,
just be patient, George. Just be patient. It happens.
All right, dog. We'll see.
Just let you know, man. It's okay.
See. By the way, I saw your boy John Vilma in that game at San Francisco. He told me to tell you what's up.
That is my guy, man. Vilma always doing great work. Listen to him. This is like a brotherhood of all of the fellow defensive players in the color,
especially linebackers. So, yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, man. I mean, we did some things in college and in the pro game. Yeah. Did a little something. Did a little okay.
All right, Kirk, we got to run because we were late.
Done with you.
We were late to you, unfortunately. Because of Cappy's time of possession.
It was because I have to. It's because I feel so passionate about Soto. I have to talk a lot about it.
Correct. I got it. Still can't believe George turned down that mega CBS deal, right?
I know,
Still
right?
Can't believe it.
I know. Billions they were going to pay him. Billions.
Yeah,
I wanted to stay at ESPN.
If anyone was willing to pay me billions, I wouldn't be talking to you two clowns. That's
what are you talking about? You chose us.
Yeah, that wouldn't happen. I may be born at night. It wasn't last night. That's for sure. All right, Kirk Morrison, you're the man. By the way, what do you got next? What's your next game? Bowl game?
I will see you guys. Tuesday night. I will be in Frisco, Texas.
Oh,
for
the Frisco Bowl. Scooter's Coffee.
Yeah,
I did that one last year.
Scooter's Coffee.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm getting some free coffee. Scooter's Coffee will be my first time having it. But Memphis, West Virginia.
Okay.
One team doesn't have a coach yet. So
I know, right? Because Neil got
this
fired.
West Virginia coach going to be? So right now we're following, and maybe you can help me out with this, Cappy. All private planes going into Morgantown. Okay, that's the big thing right now. So any private plane going into Morgantown, everybody's like all on top of it.
Why don't
So
they
we
interview
saw
Bill
one from,
Belichick like North Carolina has?
I don't buy that. Do you buy that for 1 second? I don't buy it for 1 second.
That they interviewed him?
No, that he's actually going to take the job.
Oh, God, he ain't going to North Carolina. Give me a break.
I mean, he's trying to drive up the price right now, man. Bill Belichick is doing this thing. I love this Bill Belichick. We needed this Bill Belichick.
And to make it believable, he's thrown in the whole thing about, his son would be the coach in waiting, that kind of stuff. Like, I don't buy it for a second.
Yeah, it's, Bill Belichick is just enjoying this. He's got everybody in on it. Pat McAfee. It's great. All access. I love it. Love it. Everybody's all in on it.
We love you too, Kirk. Thanks for the time, brother, as always.
All right, get back on the clock. All right,
Yeah,
later.
that's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
too late for
Time
that.
of possession.
Yeah. Cappy, tell us about your friends at Amazon, though.
Okay, but I want you.
Deal or no
But
deal.
I want you to do this for me. You ready? I want you to time this because I want time of possession to be equal. Here goes now. Hey guys, let me talk to you about Amazon Pickup first. Amazon. We order from it every day. We watch football on it Thursday nights. You know Amazon. Amazon Pickup allows you to send your orders to a secure pickup location that you can choose. So rather than having all these packages sit in front of your door at your house or your apartment, you can just send them to a secure pickup location like an Amazon locker or a counter. Now, you can get these packages picked up on your own time because when the package arrives, you get a delivery confirmation email and it says, hey, your package is ready. There's instructions on picking it up, and it's great for when you're out and about, which, by the way, now that we're into December and we're well into the holiday season, we're all going to be getting crazy with our schedules, with more work and parties and places we got to be and gatherings. Amazon Pickup is a great option for when you're not planning on being home when your packages are going to be delivered. It's a secure and convenient delivery solution to pick up your Amazon packages at no additional cost. Go to Amazon.com/pickupMVP. That's Amazon.com/pickupMVP to learn more.
Wow,
That's
Cappy, 60
59 seconds.
No, I would say 60 on the nose, but yeah.
That's pretty damn good.
That's
Pretty damn good.
All right.
Pretty good.
Big Deal or No Deal is next.
Hey, it's Mace. You have never experienced anything like Cosm. Trust me, it will blow your mind, and you can experience the Emirates NBA Cup like never before. NBA action in immersive shared reality. Every assist and dunk and buzzer beater comes to life on Cosm's immense 8K plus wraparound display. Use our exclusive discount code ESPNLA. Get 20% off any NBA event in November. Get your tickets now at Cosm.com. That's COSM.com.
I love opening gifts for myself because, I really get me. Now your top reasons to visit Morongo.
Gift a Day giveaway. 15 days, 15 gifts. Earn 500 points on your rewards card and get that day's great gift. Now till the 20th.
Number 2.
The Hilarious, Just Hilarious. Live January 11th.
And the number 1 reason.
It's the holidays. It's Morongo. It's good times.
Morongo. Good times.
Hey, it's Mace. It's that time of year. Shopping is hard. Finding the right gift can be impossible, and waiting until the last minute is a nightmare. The last minute stuff can be a mess. I've got the answer. I'm going to save you all the guesswork. The answer is flowers from the Books Company, and I've got 25% off your entire Books purchase so you can send some too. Here's why the Books Company is so good. Their flowers are cut fresh, sourced directly from the best flower farms, so they last way longer. It was easy. I picked up bouquet, set my delivery date. It was done. No wrapping required. Books is perfect for the people who have everything. Get a festive bouquet for mom, a mini tree for your grandma, and you can go big with a flower subscription for your wife or girlfriend. It's basically happiness on repeat. And right now, you save 25% with promo code ESPN. Go to Books.com. Use promo code ESPN. That's BOUQS.com. Promo code ESPN. Books. Promo code ESPN.
You're busy enough this season without having to get up on a ladder to clean out your gutters. Whether you're tired of unclogging gutters or don't even know what your gutters look like, it's time for a permanent solution you can depend on with Leaf Filter. For the holidays, don't miss your last chance to save up to 35% off when you protect your gutters during Leaf Filter's most anticipated sale of the year at leaffilter.com/amber. Clogged gutters aren't just a nuisance. They can cause extensive problems like flooding, roof damage, rotting siding, foundation issues, and more. Leaf Filter uses award-winning patented technology to keep out everything but water. Call today to schedule your free gutter inspection and get a no-obligation free estimate. And don't miss out on your last chance of the year to save up to 35% off when you protect your gutters with Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system. Schedule your free inspection at leaffilter.com/amber. That's their lowest price of the year, up to 35% off at leaffilter.com/amber. See representative for warranty details.
Sedano and Kap for your afternoon right now on 710 ESPN. It's 6:30 p.m. Big deal or no deal. Take it away, Sedano.
Sedano's in the ladies' room, which is only going to increase my time of possession. But it is time for Big Deal or No Deal, and here is Lindsay Baseball.
All right, Cappy, so you and George were just talking with Kirk Morrison about Bill Belichick and the fact that he has interviewed, he said that he interviewed for a job with UNC football. And then there was a report that came out today that there's actually negotiations in place, or at least there was some type of negotiation in place for him to take the head coaching job at UNC. Bill Belichick said on Pat McAfee's show earlier today, quote, "If I was in a college program, it would be a pipeline to the NFL for players that had the ability to play in the NFL. It would be a professional program at the college level. I don't have any doubt that the players would be ready for the NFL." So is the fact that he's, openly talking about the fact that there's a negotiation going on and the type of players and type of program he would like to be a coach at, do you think that that's a big deal or no deal when it comes to his potential potential college football coaching prowess?
I would go no deal. I think it's smart of him to say it that way, because you got to sell it. I don't think he wants to coach college. I don't think I do think that he'd love to be back in the NFL. I just think I get the sense that there aren't enough takers, and if there are any takers, it's not anything he's really would be that interested in.
So do you think that he's taking this interview and talking about it because he's trying to drum up interest for himself?
I believe that to be the case.
Okay.
I believe it to be a lot of subterfuge, to be a little bit of a ruse, as they say.
Subterfuge. That's a great word.
But the thing is this, if you told me Bill Belichick was contemplating the Alabama job, Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon, just the big name brands, USC, I'd buy it.
I'd take him at Ohio State right now.
North Carolina. You're talking about middle of the pack of a bottom of the Power Four conferences. So to me, the only reason I could even come up with a notion of why Bill Belichick would be curious about North Carolina, because there's legacy, number one, and number two, because he might think to himself, the sort of player that North Carolina gets, that's the kind of guy that I can coach, because he's a thinking man's player.
Right, I was just going to say, smart kids go to school there.
Right.
And nowadays with NIL, in a way, it almost doesn't really matter, what the program is anymore, right? Because if you've got a guy like Bill Belichick coaching the team and you've got boosters that are willing to pay money for good players, does it really, really matter that much?
Listen, if SMU and Indiana and Boise State and Arizona State can crash the party, North Carolina could do the same thing if Bill Belichick was their head coach.
Listen, North Carolina had your boy Drake May there.
Yeah, and they've had, prior to that, it was Mitchell
Sam Howell.
Trubisky.
Yeah.
Yeah, they produce NFL players at North Carolina.
Lawrence Taylor went there back in the day.
That's exactly right.
They've had a lot of guys that have
But I don't believe Bill Belichick is going to coach. Now,
No,
listen, again, it's like when a guy, coaches and he says, you know what, I love coaching, but I don't love coaching this job, so I'm going to just be a coach. I'm going to go back to being a position coach, or I'm going to go coach high school ball. I could see Bill Belichick saying, I want to coach football. I don't necessarily have to be coaching NFL football. But I believe in Bill Belichick's case, he wants to get back to the NFL. And I believe this newer, kinder, gentler Bill Belichick is going to get interviews for NFL jobs.
Agreed. What's next?
All right, last one here. So they announced the Heisman finalists that'll be in New York for the Heisman Trophy festivities.
Mm-hmm.
And they are Colorado's Travis Hunter.
Oh, I was going to try to guess, but go ahead.
Oh, well,
the other one's got to be Ashton
Genty,
Genty.
right?
Yes.
One. Yeah.
Oregon's Dylan
Cam
Gabriel
Ward.
and Cam Ward.
Yeah.
And so we were just debating during the break here, George. How do you say the Arizona State quarterback's last name? Scadaboo? Scadaboo. All right. So people are saying, especially after the big win this past weekend, that he was snubbed by not being invited to the Heisman finalist ceremony. So is this a big deal or no deal?
Play. No, I'm not joking.
Right.
Nobody saw him play.
I agree.
Because Arizona State is like, I'm going to ask you guys a question. Have you seen Arizona State on TV this year?
No,
I have not.
I have not. I have not.
Okay. I have not. Now, George, when you say you have, like I watch college football on ESPN, ABC,
Well,
CBS.
they played a number of times in that late window. Like when I've returned back home, they'd be playing.
I can't remember. Like Boise State, I can remember. Now that maybe is a little bit towards my bias. Mountain West Conference. I can imagine, those late night games, but I can't remember watching Arizona State. I can't even remember like passing by going, oh, it's Arizona State against Oklahoma State. I have no interest. Like I just didn't see them play. And I would guess that they were so under the radar earlier in the year that Heisman voters got to their story way late. That'd be my guess.
Well, I feel like even halfway through the season, there was no like clear cut, there's a couple guys that have had fallen in and out of the conversation. It wasn't like a clear-cut number one, just like there's not a clear-cut number one team that's just dominating everybody.
Well, who did you say? You said Hunter from Colorado, Genty from Boise State, Ward from Miami.
And
who's the
Dylan
fourth?
Gabriel,
Dylan
the
Gabriel
from
Oregon, yeah.
Oh, okay. Got it. I mean, is it a foregone conclusion that the kid Hunter from Colorado is going to win it?
I think he's going to win, yes.
You guys think Genty comes in second?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be. Although, no, honestly, I think Genty will be second, but I mean, I could see any one of the other three finishing second.
I think Boise State understood that they had a potential Heisman finalist on their hands. They did a great job of continuing to feed that kid the ball, amp up his stats. I mean, obviously, it was a big part of winning. The last game against UNLV tried everything they could to stop the kid. And just like Barry Sanders with the Lions, keep feeding him, and eventually he'll break one. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. All right, that's big deal or no deal. Cappy, let's talk some Prize Picks. Here's the deal. Okay. Download the app, Prize Picks app to your phone. Use the promo code Cappy, Kappy. All right, on your first $5 play, you can get a $50 bonus. It's that simple. Guys, if you want sports action in the state of California, Prize Picks is the place to go. And it's very simple. There's a statistical number for each player, whether it's a point in basketball, say points, rebounds, assists. For a quarterback, it'll be yardage or whatnot, or touchdowns. And it's as simple as saying more or less. They'll give you a number, and you go more or less, and you can get your money really quick, man, in as quick as 15 minutes.
And right now, one thing that's happening on Prize Picks that I want to direct everybody to is this. If you go on to Prize Picks, again, you've downloaded the Prize Picks app, you've used our code Cappy, Kappy, you make a $5 play, you get a $50 bonus instantaneously. But one thing, George, for this upcoming weekend is Kansas City is playing Cleveland. There's a free square already right now.
This is for you.
Do you suppose that Patrick Mahomes will pass for more than half a yard against Cleveland?
I'm fairly certain.
Okay, well, then that's a free square because they've given you a Patrick Mahomes option. His normal more or less number would be 245.5 passing yards. They're giving you a free square with half a passing yard.
Wow.
Now, for those of you that are like me and you're ice cold on Prize Picks, we need free squares like this. Download the Prize Picks app, use the code Cappy, Kappy, make a $5 play, get a $50 bonus. It's that easy.
Prize Picks, Cappy, run your game.
Here's the scenario. Your home is flooded and there's extensive water damage. This is when it can feel as though your relationship with your insurance has become an abusive one. They don't agree that you need a replacement living arrangement, despite it being glaringly obvious. Then, the insurance adjuster leaves you hanging. You feel abandoned with a home that is no longer livable, and you now have no other choice than to use the insurance contractor to make repairs, which includes their brazen attempt at lowballing the estimate. Okay, so here's what you do. You take a deep breath, then you call Avner Gatt. They're one of California's largest public adjusting firms, and trust me, size does matter in this case because Avner Gatt has experienced it all. Insurance companies can make you feel like a criminal, leaving you with no hope in getting your home back together. Avner Gatt knows exactly how to handle these situations. Not only do they have extensive knowledge on how to handle your dilemma, but they remain passionate about helping people. It's why Avner and his family continue to take the calls themselves at Avner Gatt Inc. They cover all of Southern California, and if I haven't convinced you with all of these truth bombs thus far, just check out what seems to be a never-ending stream of 5-star reviews on Yelp, Google, and the Better Business Bureau. So, whether you have a toilet overflow, a broken water line, a burst supply line, a broken fire sprinkler, whatever the water damage is at home, call Avner Gat today. 818-917-5256. That's 818-917-5256. And you can go online to avnergat.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. You'll get a maximum tax deduction and a vacation voucher.
Hurry! It's your last chance to donate for 2024. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Paid for by Cars for Kids.
Hey guys, it's Cappy. You've heard me talk about my personal situation with my divorce and subsequent custody battle in the past, and I know that you need a team behind you to get the justice you deserve. My friend Mark Reel and his team at Real Fathers Rights are here to help you guys. Visit realfathersrights.com/710. That's REEL, realfathersrights.com/710, or call 323-870-1611. That's 323-870-1611. Real Fathers Rights, the Father's Rights Attorneys.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
If it's hot, it's at GNC, and we bring you the best new stuff first. GNC has this winter's newest in weight loss, muscle building, and wellness, and the best energy drink flavors anywhere. If it's at the top of your feed, it's already at GNC. Ask a GNC coach about the newest drops from Rise, Mutant, Alani Nu, Drip Drop, and more at your local GNC store, or shop our full collection of flavors and online exclusives at GNC.com. If it's hot, it's at GNC. Live well.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Emily Neal's 70-inch TV. Because after watching her second-grade students yell at each other for hours, there's nothing Emily enjoys more than watching super rich housewives also yell at each other. Why? Because those women are not her responsibility. And that's why her TV is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Final segment of the program. Cappy, you and I,
we're
gonna measure our time of possession. I think that'll be a funny bit actually one day.
I think tomorrow we start this immediately.
Yeah, I think we do it. We'll have to have someone kind of get on it, and then we'll figure it out. And
How about Radio Michael? He could handle this.
Oh, absolutely. He's going to do it, Jack. So, Cappy, before we get to the dealer's choice, I got to tell you, home away from home, I'll be there a bunch over the next couple of weeks, man. LAX changes arriving daily to reduce traffic, save travelers time, and transform the traveler experience. The LAX economy parking structure now open with thousands of smart parking spaces as well as hundreds of EV charging stations. Modernized terminals have biometric gates for faster boarding. Who doesn't want to get to their flight faster? And soon, a new facility will have all major rental car brands under one roof when your friends and family come to visit. It's beautiful. I've seen it myself. And in the future, if you're local, you don't even need a car. People Mover train will connect travelers to LA Metro. Yep, you take the train to the Metro station right outside there on Century, and then the People Mover train right to your terminal. For more information, go to their website, flylax.com, to check it out. That's flylax.com.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Fantastic. Did you put a timer on that?
I didn't check, but yeah, it was definitely under 60.
Okay. All right. Because just time of possession is going to be a serious stat being kept going forward on this broadcast.
Yeah.
I can tell you that right now. Today you win. You win time of possession.
I did.
And the reason you win today more than anything is because of all of those ESPN Simpsons reads where you had to say, ay caramba.
Well, right. Yeah. Ay caramba.
All right. Hey, listen, let me do the Dealer's Choice Real Deal. It's brought to you by Seller's Advantage. Hey, you want to sell your house? Before you call an agent, call Seller's Advantage. They'll buy it with an as-is competitive cash offer. No repairs needed. They make selling easy. Call 888-390-AS-IS for a no-obligation offer or visit sellersadvantage.com. George, tonight, let me just say this. I had to stay in South L.A. today. I'll be in studio with you tomorrow and on Wednesday. But I had to stay in South L.A. today for this reason. Every year, I'm involved in an organization that is very, very grassroots, very hometown. My dear friend, his name is Fat Tony, George.
Oh, yeah, you've told me about Fat Tony. He's not fat anymore.
He's not fat anymore.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I don't even know his real name. Like, I've known the guy 20 years. His name is Fat Tony. His son is in the United States Army. Thank you for your service. You know what his name is?
What was his first name?
Fat.
Stop.
Wait.
What?
Is it Fat? Or
well, no. So my friend Fat Tony, his son is in the U.S. Army. You know what his name is?
Skinny Tony.
No.
Skinny Anthony?
No, his name is Fat Boy.
Oh, okay.
And I've known this kid since he was born. A kid's name is Fat Boy. This guy got a daughter. She's this adorable young girl. You know what her name is?
I don't know. Lovely Julie?
No, Fat Girl.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, that's terrible.
I'm telling you, his name is Fat Tony. Her name is Fat Girl. His son's name is Fat
What's
Boy.
their dog's name? Fat Dog?
I guess so. But Fat Tony does something every year, George, that's super cool. Listen to what he does.
Okay.
He takes 100 kids that come from underserved communities.
Yeah.
He takes them to a Walmart, and he gives each kid a $100 gift card. He raises $10,000.
Right.
And he gives each kid a $100 gift card because these kids would not have a Christmas like you and me.
Right.
They won't have gifts from mom and dad because mom and dad can't afford, and they won't give gifts because these kids don't have any money. So Fat Tony takes 100 kids. He gives each kid a $100 gift card. He sets them free in the Walmart. We all go down there. We walk the kids around. We help them pick out gifts. And this year, he committed to 200 kids, and he's at about $18,500.
Wow.
So all day long, we've been making calls to people saying, hey, can you donate 20? Can you donate 100? Can you donate 500?
Right.
You know, because we're trying to help these 200 kids and their parents. So as soon as we get off the air, I'm driving down to the border, and I'm going to go to this Walmart, and I'm going to go shopping with all these kids. And so that's what I'm doing tonight, because let me tell you something really quickly. We here at ESPN LA have had a monster year. We've had a great year. And so if things are going great in your life, share. I've been in places where 5 years ago I was flat broke, man, and I was freaking digging out of a hole of debt because of divorce and everything else that happened in my life. Things are going great now, thank goodness. So while they are, man, give back, share, and help people who are underserved celebrate the holiday season. That's all I wanted to say.
Well said, Cappy. You can take all the time and possession you need on that. By the way, Lincoln Riley is going to be on the Trojan Show tonight, so make sure you tune in for that. He's going to be talking about recruiting, talking about the bowl game matchup against Texas A&M. Thanks to Lindsay, Cappy, Funchy, The Circle, Christopher, everybody.
What about DeAndre?
I was going to say, and D, and Funchy, who's also in there.
Hi, Funchy.
Okay. Can I get
right.
And thanks to Fake Funchy, too, for that matter.
Fake Funchy.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man. Yeah, man.
All right, see ya.
Going through a life change, whether you're downsizing, you've inherited a home, or you're just ready for a change.
I'm Doug.
And I'm Damon.
And we want to buy your house.
Let Seller's Advantage show you how we can give you more.
No fees, no commissions, and no repairs. Just a fair cash offer that can close in just a few days.
Check out our Google reviews.
And call Seller's Advantage today or visit sellersadvantage.com. I'm Doug Hopkins.
And I'm Damon Lyons.
And we want to buy your house.
With over 30 years in the business and more than 20,000 real estate transactions, Seller's Advantage offers a much better buying experience.
We don't charge agent fees, you pay no commissions, and you make no repairs. Seller's Advantage will show you a no-obligation as-is cash offer and can close in just a few days.
Just check out our Google reviews and see for yourself.
Call Seller's Advantage today or visit sellersadvantage.com.
Don't worry, sell happy.